behind closed doors? Who's the one digging around in that smelly, stinky laundry basket at full time? Yeah, it's the kitman. They have a lot to work on in a week, from laundry, fixing damaged kit, repairing holes, cleaning boots. Then they pack the van and take everything they need off to the stadium, ready for game day. They don't get a lot of help when they get in the ground too. Kitmen are the ones unloading a full squad's worth of boots, kit, medical bags, and all the bits the players and coaches will need between the start of the day and switching off the floodlights at the end of the day. First thing they do is organise each player's kit, make it easily accessible in order to avoid any dramas on match day. Once everything's in the right place, it's into the dressing room, lay everything out, put players' nameplates on the right locker, all the things you don't even think about on a match day. Once the players arrive, if anything needs doing, they call the kitman. In the meantime, it's on the kitman to help set up for the warm-up. The coaches don't always have time to lay out all the cones and put the balls in those weird triangle piles you see. As the warm-up is underway, the kitman then becomes a glorified ball boy, chasing stray shots and passes, making sure they aren't lost in the crowds. They eventually do the tidying up too, getting everything off the pitch before kick-off and assist the ground staff with any last-minute things they may need. After that, it's last call for the players. Then, at kick-off, they can breathe a sigh of relief for a few minutes, sit back and watch the game, enjoy the fruits of their labour. At half-time, check everyone's okay and everything's as it should be, and then wait for full-time. Once the final whistle's gone, it's time to pack everything down, get the stuff that needs to be washed in the laundry, pack up the van, back to the training ground, and ready to do it again next week. Of course, each club differs, and different staff members will have different responsibilities. But we pay tribute to all of those who do it, whether it's the glitz and glamour of the Premier League or a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral at 6 minutes past 3 on a crisp Thursday morning. I'm Jeff Stelling. With me today, whisper it quietly, he has ventured into enemy territory and survived so far. It's Gabby Agbonlahor. Morning, Gabby.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I thought I'd see you with a tin hat on this morning, but there you go, bareheaded.
No. I feel at home. People love me here. I'll be fine.
People love you here.
They do,
You can
yes.
name them all then for us. Name every single person here who loves
didn't want
you.
to let me in, I don't think, the way he was looking at me, but
Yeah.
I got in the end.
He was the friendliest security man ever.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So, but look, we're going to be singing the praises of Birmingham City
Yes.
all day. You ready for that?
No, but I'm looking forward to speaking to especially Tom Huddleston and the manager. Seemed like a nice guy when we spoke to him last year. But like we said before, Jeff, Birmingham City are doing very well. And I think definitely the next couple of years they'll be promoted to the Premier League.
Yeah. Last time I met Chris Davis was at a hotel in Dubai.
Oh,
It feels like we're a long way from Dubai, mate, in every sense.
What do you think of Birmingham, Jeff? Your first time?
Lovely, but I'll tell you what. Are you superstitious?
No,
Right.
not one bit. Why?
So last night we were staying in a hotel along the road from here. It's called the White Swan, Henley in Arden. Lovely. It's haunted.
Oh, really?
It is haunted by the ghost of Victoria Black, who is or was 18 years old when she died after she took a tumble down the stairs. It was just like that. She took a tumble down the stairs, and now she haunts this beautiful, low-beamed, historic building. So much so that the last landlord didn't dare go up the stairs. And she lurks at night outside the door of room 17 in the passageway there. And I was staying next to that passageway last night.
Did you feel her during the night, though?
Be careful what you're saying here. Yeah. Look, it's fantastic. There are other ghosts in residence. It's a really fantastic historic building. There are other ghosts in residence as well, because apparently part of the building was once used as a courthouse, and then they used to hang those who were found guilty just where the restaurant is now. So it was quite a night.
So you like your history, don't you, Jeff?
Oh, well, this is just...
How did you sleep, though? Did you sleep okay?
Just a fantastic story. I slept okay.
Good.
There's a new couple taking over ownership of the pub. And I'm going to suggest, because of the ghosts, the first thing they should do is change the locks.
Oh. you don't put people off going there, Jeff.
I had a brilliant night's sleep, And then came in here, which is
yes.
fantastic as well. It's going to be a big day for City as well, with the new ground's going to be unveiled today.
New ground?
Yeah, going to put Villa Park in the shade, mate. Absolutely in the shade.
I've seen a lot of it on Twitter yesterday. It's definitely a big day for them, and the plans for the stadium look very impressive, which is great for the city.
Yeah. Something like 60,000.
Yeah, and I think as well they might have their training ground next door like Manchester City, I just heard as well, which is very impressive. And like I said before, Jeff, it's great for the city. You know, we can get our Beyonce concerts here. Don't have to go to Spurs, do we?
Yeah.
Closer to home.
No, absolutely brilliant. What it does needs a Premier League team to be in there, though, doesn't it?
By the time it's built, I do think Birmingham City will be in the Premier League. I don't think this season. I think it might come a bit too soon. But with the right recruitment in the summer, maybe a few out, a few in, there's no reason why they can't next season get promoted. You
would miss St Andrews, though, because you had a great time there, didn't you?
I know. I think the day that it goes, maybe they'll invite me over. You know, it's had a big part in my career. Maybe I could say goodbye to it, Jeff.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Corals. We'll get some odds on the chances of them inviting you over, shall we? Next time round, I don't think there's any prospect of that happening.
No chance.
What was the best occasion you had at St Andrews then?
I think it was probably my first goal there, when I think it might have been 2007. I remember clearing the ball off the line from Liam Ridgewell, who previously was at Aston Villa, went to Birmingham City. And then, I think it was last 5-10 minutes, down the other end, and Ashley Young, great crossing, flicked on header. I felt the goalkeeper should have saved it when you look back at it, when you look at the videos. But just that emotion of scoring in front of the Villa fans away at St Andrews, to this day, there's not been a better moment. Even representing my country, England, was something that I'll cherish forever. But the emotion of scoring in a local derby, especially away from home, similar to what Jack Grealish experienced, if you asked him the same, say it'd be top 3 feelings he's had in football as well.
Yeah, I mean, you said the words there, didn't you? Local derby.
Yeah.
And obviously a Villa fan out now, but, you know, for the region, for the city, to have that derby back, Villa against Birmingham, Birmingham against Villa, got to be a great thing.
I've said this many times, and I've had Villa fans moaning at me for saying it. I said Birmingham City, I want them to come back to the Premier League, because for the city as one as well, you know, it's great to have as many Premier League teams as you can. I mean, Wolves is obviously not in Birmingham, but the Midlands, they look like they're going to get relegated. West Brom don't look like they're going to get promoted. So it would be really good for the fans as well, Jeff, because the younger generation might not have witnessed Villa Blues Derby, Blues Villa Derby. The emotion, the hatred, if you like it, from fan bases, and the games. You don't see much football being played, Jeff. Everyone's hooking it on. No one's getting it down and passing it. So it would be great for the city, and I think if you ask any Villa or Birmingham City fan, they miss playing each other. And there's a reason why a derby's at 12 o'clock on a Sunday, because it's a feisty one.
Yeah. Look forward to the return of that at some stage in the future. Now, during the course of the morning, we've got lots of guests coming in, and one of them will be Lyndon Dykes. I'm not sure how he's feeling today, because it's the morning after the night before. Did you watch the Scotland game?
I loved it. I think Lyndon Dykes, maybe we want to get him a couple of bottles of water, Jeff, when he's on. He might need them still. But I watched the game and I was getting frustrated when Scotland scored and then they sort of couldn't get the ball, could they? Denmark were just keeping the ball and creating chance after chance. And then when Dorgu equalised, I was like, only Scotland would do this. Poor defending. But the goals, especially McTominay, Martini's was a great goal. McLean's was a fantastic goal. And the World Cup would be a better place with Scotland in it and their fan base.
Imagine scoring a goal like Kieran Tierney did, or Kenny McLean did, and it not being the best goal of the match.
Goal. It's incredible, isn't it?
I mean, that's Scott McTominay.
You know how hard that is, Jeff? You know how hard that technique is? It's unbelievable. People will appreciate an outstanding goal, but to get up there, to even land without having to come off on a stretcher. I mean, I'll be straight off with back issues after trying that. Fantastic goal. And I had adrenaline during the national anthem as well, Jeff. Never mind the game. And then when they won, the excitement from the Scotland fans. And Steve Clarke's done a fantastic job.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, and the World Cup is going to benefit from Scotland 100%. And their fantastic fans being there as well, just as the Euros did. They weren't great on the pitch, but they were
nice
absolutely
to us,
European champions off the pitch.
They were nice to us, weren't they?
No, they were brilliant to us, to us. And, of course, Hampden's seen some legendary goals over the years, including, I'm sure you remember, Zinedine Zidane's volley in the Champions League final. Yes. But former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam told Breakfast yesterday that Scott McTominay's was even better.
Ken McLean's going from his own half was probably, it was an unbelievable strike. And the other two goals, McTominay's goal, probably is as good a goal as you're up there with, Zidane's goal. We always talk about Zidane's goal being the best ever goal at Hampden. And, McTominay, the height he got was incredible, and the athleticism was phenomenal.
I mean, Doak, the cross that he put in, had no pace on the ball. He had to generate it all himself. And even to get contact, Jeff, never mind into the corner, is an incredible goal. So Scott McTominay probably has scored Scotland's best ever goal. But I'm looking forward to speaking to Lyndon Dykes because I actually felt sorry for him during the game. He looked very lonely up there. I've been there, Jeff, where you're getting balls played at your neck and no one's coming to support you. No one's coming for the flick-ons. So I thought he did a very good job until he was taken off.
Yeah, he ran his socks off, didn't he? And then the boys who came on. I mean, there were great substitutions in the end as well by the manager. Steve Clarke's had its critics, but my goodness, he's taken them to successive Euros and now the World Cup as well. So his achievements have been phenomenal. Look, we've got a fantastic show coming for you. We will be talking to Lyndon Dykes, as I mentioned there. Joe Hart and Aaron Ramsey will be on the show this morning. Tom Huddleston, someone you know.
What a player he was, by the way.
Yeah. Work here at Birmingham City these days, but and we'll talk about that, and of course we'll probably touch on the North London derby with him as well, because he played in plenty of them. The Birmingham City boss, Chris Davis, record signing Jay Stansfield, whose dad Adam used to feature regularly on Soccer Saturday. He'll be in as well. And as I mentioned, Lyndon Dykes will tell us if he's recovered from the celebrations yet. Now, coming up, the morning papers are dripping with, guess what, Ashes fever. Find out whether Ben Stokes is confident of bringing the Ashes home next. Of course he is. Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Donald Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car at home. Charge. I'm Jay Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me looking puzzled.
Yeah, I feel a bit
You
poorly,
know what this
Jeff.
is?
Yeah, I feel a bit poorly, but no, is it floor... What would we say? Floor 4, 3,
No.
2, what was it?
This is Norman Greenbaum with probably the biggest one-hit wonder, Norman Greenbaum, in history.
Really?
1969.
Number one.
It was, number one. It's been covered 29 times over the years, including, I think it's Doctor and the Medics, which some of the youngsters around us might remember. That was sort of mid-90s and things. But Norman Greenbaum, absolute legend, never had another hit.
Lovely.
Right, we're here.
No
at the...
idea.
No. Well, we've educated you. That's what we like.
I've learned something.
We like to do that on the breakfast show. We like to entertain, but we want to educate
Yes,
as well.
of course.
So, the educating bit's a bit tricky with you sometimes, Gabby. Sorry, mate. So we're at the Birmingham City training ground this morning with Villa's all-time second top goal scorer these days. Yeah, Gabby Agbonlahor. Gabby, you've got a message for you from broadcaster and Villa fan Dan Bardell, so take a listen.
Hi Gabby, Dan Bardell here. Cannot believe that you've gone to that place to record a show today. My heart goes out to you. You're a brave man. Good job the show's not been recorded at St Andrews, because you'd have probably scored a goal already. Feel free to reply to the DM I sent you at any point. Take care, mate. Try and get through it as best you can. And as always, you know, up the Villa.
but Dan, Gabby's been made really welcome this morning.
Lovely stuff. Sometimes, Jeff, you know, you'll get staff at football clubs that might support other teams. They don't always support the team where they work. So everyone's been lovely, and looking forward to catching up with some of the players.
You're trying to say that some of the people in here this morning,
I can tell a Villa fan a mile away.
Villa fans.
Yeah, I can tell a Villa fan a mile away, Jeff. Yeah. There's loads lurking around, but.
Yeah, I can tell you what, mate. Obviously, Hartlepool's my side, and our local rivals are Darlington. And if I turned up at Darlington one day, I wouldn't get this sort of welcome.
Really?
Oh, they'd run me out of town.
Oh, no. We're all from Birmingham at the end of the day, aren't we, Jeff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as I'm respectful, which I plan to be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right, it is time now to take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Back page review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. This November, sign up to get a £60 welcome bonus. Offer ends 1st of December. Terms and verification at tescomobile.com/business.
And Olivia Bazaglo is with us. Hi, Olivia. Morning.
Good morning, Olivia.
Morning. Just quickly, before we get into the back pages, the cover I remember of Spirit in the Sky was Gareth Gates.
Yeah, and the Kumars. Yeah.
Honestly, that was one of my favourite songs. Absolutely loved it. As you can imagine, boys, all of the back pages today, I think barring one, is all about the Ashes. I'm going to read you just a few headlines first. The back of the Express, we lucky few. Ben Stokes has set his sights on joining the lucky few England captains to bring home the Ashes on Australian soil. The back page of the Star, Perth quake, Ben's lethal POM squad ready to rock 'em. The back page of the Mirror will earn URN our place in history. That's again the back page of the Times. Let's make history. But the back page of the Telegraph writes Michael Vaughan, Ashes glory is there for the taking. This is your golden chance, England. Don't blow it. So I suppose my question to you, Jeff, is this England's golden chance? And do you think they're going to blow it, or do you think they're going to do it?
Overconfidence is a dangerous thing, isn't it? What is it? The last 15 tests in Australia, we've lost 13 and drawn 2.
Wow.
Not great in terms of history. And you know what? The Aussies will be licking their lips because they would like nothing to put what they perceive as an arrogant English side in their place. We just got to be careful, you know. Of course we've got a great chance. But they're missing a couple of their key bowlers. But you look at some of our bowlers. I mean, look at Mark Wood. Look at Jofra Archer. Injury prone. How fit is Ben Stokes? So there are question marks about our bowling attack. And we question their opening batsmen as well. Well, maybe we should question our opening batsmen too, you know, because they don't come off every single time. Zach Crawley, everybody thinks that this is going to be Perth for him. The conditions will be superb. Let's hope so, because we don't want to lose an early wicket and put Ollie Pope in too early on, because he's an edgier, nervous starter. I think it's a finely balanced series, and yet we have a chance, and I think it could go 3-2 either way, really. But Perth is the key. We have to win the first test.
Gabby, you had Ashes fever back in 2023. Are you feeling the same? Are you excited for the Ashes this time around?
Do you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have liked the part I did in the one in 2023, because I loved the rivalry. I loved the trash talking. I loved the drama between some of the fans as well, with the Australian fans. But like Jeff was saying off air earlier, he reckons if we lose the first test, Olivia, then maybe it could be game over. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, the first one's always the most important, would you say? The first one's always the most important. Yeah. I think what is key here is not just the first test, but having Ben Stokes fit for all 5 of them. And do England have a chance? You know, we know that Ben Stokes has missed matches in each of England's last 3 series because of injuries, like Jeff said, injuries to other key players as well. I think the first test is important. I think it's more important that Ben Stokes is fit for all 5. So I suppose my question back to Jeff is, if Ben Stokes isn't fit for all 5, do England still have a chance?
Yeah, it doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest, Olivia. It doesn't bear thinking about. What we also need, as well as Ben Stokes being fit, is for, you know, the real Joe Root to stand up. I mean, the Aussies have been calling him Average Joe. Well, he's anything but Average Joe. But he hasn't done it in Australia yet. So this is the time we need to see him perform in Australia. But Ben Stokes, he has to stay fit. Simply has to stay fit. If he doesn't, I think the odds against us bringing back the Ashes lengthen significantly, let's put it that way. I mean, he is such a leader, and Gab, in any sport, you know how important it is to have a real leader.
But you need your leaders to turn up.
Yeah.
Like you just says, you need to see the best of him. Stokes as well. Whoever's a leader in that squad of players needs to turn up, because I think we had Goffey on last week and he said that he struggled in Australia in the Ashes, and how good of a player was he, you know, when he was in teams that struggled over there. So, like you says, the first test, really important, get off to a winning start.
Yeah, I mean, look, Stokes is the ultimate leader. The ultimate leader. It's a big test for him. It's a big test for the coach. A big test for Bazball as well, which has got its critics. And there's no question that England will approach this series in just the same way as any other. I hope it's a fantastic series. I mean, the series against India in the summer was brilliant. So everything crossed. Olivia? Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Olivia.
That's you done today, is it?
This is the earliest finish I think I've ever had out of the building, and it's not even 6:30.
You part-timer.
Why don't you stay and do a bit extra behind the scenes?
Gabby, I've got a long old afternoon. I've got an awards ceremony this evening I've got to go get ready for. Need my sleep.
Yeah, Olivia, before you go, producer Ollie's here is alongside me, and he said, can you just come back in and do the 9:45 slot? Is that okay?
Ollie, go away. I'll be fast asleep. I can do it from my bed if you'd like. I can do it from my bed.
Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
And that was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Up next, we'll get the thoughts of the former Aussie opening batsman Simon Katich on Steve Smith's side for the first test.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. This November, sign up to get a £60 welcome bonus. Offer ends 1st of December. Terms and verification at tescomobile.com/business.
know sport is full of money, and when it comes to exhibition matches, it is the cash involved that gets them off the ground. But that's what makes it even more annoying if the event falls flat. When Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, 65 million people streamed it on Netflix, but many people complained of buffering and freezing, and the fight itself wasn't that great either. So fans got shortchanged, while Tyson and Paul took home around $60 million between them. Another one with a huge prize pot was Tiger versus Phil in 2018. That had £9 million. But again, the pay-per-view had streaming issues. Miking up the players was an anticlimax too, and the golf itself was bang average. When Ronaldo went to Saudi, we all knew money was the driving force, given his salary of £177 million a year. But then they thought, let's get Messi over for a game. So we had PSG versus the Riyadh All-Stars. Both the GOATs were past their best.
Argentina, but we got John again, and Rob Boyd on the wing, no Scotland, no party, Steve Clarkson.
Oh, well, there's going to be a party, that's for sure, isn't there? This is talkSPORT Breakfast, live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. I'm Jay Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor has come in under the cover of darkness here. Former Villa man, of course, on enemy territory. But we've all had a fantastic welcome so far. Now, we mentioned Scotland earlier on. One person we know enjoyed it was Super Ali McCoist, but he had to enjoy it from a bar in Vegas. Oh, how sad. Seemingly by himself.
Oh, man alive. Man alive. I'm absolutely, voice is going, buzzing with capital B. Buzzing, capital B. Oh, man. I'm on a Diet Coke. My voice is going. Unbelievable, lads. Unbelievable. What a finish that was. Oh, man. I just can't believe it. I'm watching up there. It's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Just so happy, man. So happy.
I think he'd had one too many Diet Cokes.
Yeah, what did he have the Diet Coke with, though?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. What's in the can?
But look, remember, you can follow in Super Ali's footsteps. Get ready to kick off 2026 in style. talkSPORT and our mates at Virgin Atlantic are giving you the chance to win an incredible trip for two to Vegas. You'll begin with access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow. You'll fly up a class in glorious comfort. The lie-flat beds, the service, the bubbles, all the way if you want. And when you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights. Cheer from the stands as the Vegas Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we'll throw in $5,000 in cash to play with while you're there. Not too shabby at all. So clear your calendar, January the 2nd to January the 7th, 2026, because this could be the best start to a new year that you have ever had. Best of luck to you.
21 plus. UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rate. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Yeah, the very best of luck to you, and the very best of luck as well to Ben Stokes and his side out in Australia, because time to start to talk about the Ashes. Well, we've been talking about it for weeks and weeks, months and months, haven't we? But it all starts tomorrow. All eyes on the Optus Stadium in Perth. England reckon to have their best chance of winning a series down under since their last success in 2010 to 2011. Two debuts for Australia. Opening bat, Jake Weatherald comes into the starting lineup. Bowler Brendan Doggett, who's waited a long time for his chance, will also line up due to a couple of key injuries there. Look, let's get more on this and cross down under to Perth and speak to former Aussie opening batsman Simon Katich. Morning, Simon.
Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, so Simon, time for the talking to stop. Can't wait for it, mate. But let's talk Australia first of all, and position you're familiar with, opening batsman. So they've gone for Jake Weatherald to partner Khawaja initially. Tell us a bit about Jake Weatherald. What can we expect to see?
Well, he's the Shield leading run scorer last season for Tasmania, over 900 runs and an average of 50. But it was his strike rate of around 68 that stood out, and I think that's what Australia have been looking for ever since David Warner retired. They obviously tried young Sam Constas, who had an immediate impact last year on debut at the MCG against India, where he put Jasprit Bumrah to the sword with all his ramp shots and all the tricks, but he's found it tough at the start of the season for New South Wales, had a tough tour of the West Indies midway through 2025 and finds himself on the outer. But Jake Weatherall, 31, deserves his opportunity. He moved from South Australia down to Tassie a couple of seasons ago after some sort of mixed form and some mental health issues, and he's forced his way into this team through sheer weight of runs on what is a tricky wicket down in Hobart. So he's had a decent start to the season and thoroughly deserves his opportunity.
Simon, England have some top batsmen. Which one do you fear the most, mate?
Without a doubt, in my mind, it's Harry Brook. He's at 5. He's had an amazing start to his Test career. I think he's averaging 57 already, and it's the way that he scores. He comes in, puts pressure on the bowlers straight away. And the thing that stands out to me is his away record. He hasn't actually done as well in England as he's done away from home. I think he averages around 80 away from home. He has struggled on these shores before, albeit when he was here at the Big Bash, totally different format. So I take that with a grain of salt. But his form has been outstanding. He's coming off some really good one-day scores in New Zealand in tricky conditions there. And I think that number 5 role will be pivotal for both teams. We've seen Travis Head do it brilliantly over the last 4 or 5 years here in Australia. Counter-attacks, gets big hundreds, puts pressure on the opposition when that ball gets to sort of 40, 50 overs old. And I expect Harry Brook to try and do the same in this Ashes series for England.
Do the Aussies see any sort of potential vulnerability, Simon, in England's top order? Duckett and Crawley, maybe Ollie Pope in earlier than he would like?
Yeah, look, I think both teams will look to expose both top orders. I think there's some strong bowling lineups. Obviously, Australia weakened slightly because Cummins is out and Hazelwood misses this Test as well. But it's a great opportunity for young Doggett, who's on debut, albeit he's 31, but he earns his chance on the back of some really strong form for South Australia in the last few years. I think he's got 66 wickets, about 21, including 11 in the Shield final earlier this year. So he deserves his opportunity. But both top orders will be up against it because the conditions here in Australia in the last couple of seasons have been pretty lively. So that first 30 overs is going to be crucial to this Ashes. And look, there's no doubt England will be aggressive at the top of the order. Australia probably a little bit different sort of game plan. They'll try and wear England down a bit more. But I think the danger for England is they go too hard too early and expose Root, Brook and Stokes with a 20, 30 overall ball, and then it's game on, because the Australian quicks in these conditions have been outstanding in the last few years.
The papers have been hammering the English as usual. Why do you guys hate Bazball so much?
Oh, look, I wouldn't say hate. I think there's a lot of people here that have enjoyed watching it. I think, me for one, I think there's a time and place for it. And I think there's no doubt England have played it really well in flat conditions, particularly in England where the wickets have probably been a little bit slower and lower than what we experience here in Australia, and potentially when they've played it in Pakistan and places like that where the conditions suit. So there's no doubt it's brought a difference point of difference to Test cricket, and there's a time and place for it. However, it's going to be a challenge to try and do it here, particularly at Optus Stadium and maybe the Gabba with a pink ball, where the wickets might be a bit more bowler friendly, and that's where the top order has to make a decision. Are they going to try and wear down the bowlers for the first 20 overs, or are they going to keep doubling down on Bazball? And I expect them to double down, because it sounds like all the rhetoric coming out of Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum is, we're going to keep going hard and whatever will be, will be.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be a great occasion with Ben Doggett. I mean, he's waited long enough for his chance, hasn't he? I think he was called up in 2018, didn't play, and hasn't played since. But look, we're all talking about the pace bowlers and those who are missing, no Cummins and no Hazelwood, and the potential for injury for English pace bowlers. But I just wonder, over the course of the series, what part the spin department's going to play in all of this, Simon, and whether Nathan Lyon could ultimately be one of the keys to the series. You seem to perform so well on home territory all the time.
Yeah, his record here in Australia is outstanding. The history of off-spinners in this country, some great off-spinners have come to this country and perished. Murali Dhuran had a poor record here. I think the best of the overseas spinners has probably been Dan Vittori, who's involved with the Australians at the moment as an assistant coach. But Graham Swan, who was a fantastic off-spinner for England, he found it tough here on occasions. And there's been a number of them, Harbhajan Singh. So it's not the easiest place to bowl off-spin. Obviously, Shoaib Bashir is a young off-spinner, but he does have height on his side. He should get some bounce if he does play in these conditions. But Nathan Lyon, there's a reason we call him the GOAT here. His record in Australia is outstanding, and he will have a big role to play. There are a number of key wickets in that England batting lineup. The left-handers of Duckett and Ben Stokes and these guys who are dangerous players. He'll have a role to play, and I dare say that at some stage he will have a big say in this series.
Simon, is Perth the key to the whole series?
Oh, look, I think the first two are, because historically Australia have been very good at these two venues. Last year against India was the first time Australia have lost at Optus Stadium. They've got an imposing record here. It is very unique. It is like the old whacker wicket where it cracks up, the ball flies through, and there's plenty of assistance for the quicks. But it has spun as well, and that's where Nathan Lyon, his numbers at this venue have been outstanding. I think he averages in the mid-20s, and he's had a role to play as the test wears on. And I think the second test being a pink ball test, I don't think Australia have ever lost a pink ball test anywhere they played it. And the Gabba is another place that Australia have enjoyed a very formidable record, albeit they have lost a couple of tests there in the last few years, one against India and one against the West Indies when Shamar Joseph took 8 for. So in that aspect, England will feel like the Gabba's not quite the fortress it used to be, but given that it's a pink ball test and England don't play a lot of big pink ball tests, that's where Australia will feel if they can get off to a strong start, they could really, go 2-0 up early in this series.
Simon, looking forward to it so much. Really appreciate you giving us your time this morning. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Simon.
My pleasure, guys.
Don't forget you can tune into the latest episode of How to Win the Ashes on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. This week, Darren Goff's joined by former Aussie captain Michael Clarke. He was a player as well. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Former England, Birmingham City and Man City goalkeeper Joe Hart will be joining us. We'll be asking him whether Jordan Pickford has proved himself as one of England's all-time great keepers. Well, we might ask him that. Now, Arsenal and Wales legend Aaron Ramsey will join us to reveal whether Wales have what it takes to reach the World Cup. 7 goals this week. Couldn't have gone better for Craig Bellamy's side, could it? And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Donald Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. We're coming to you live from the Birmingham City training ground, and we're on home territory for UB40.
Oh, yeah. Birmingham City fans, aren't they?
Yeah.
I grew up listening to UB40. Dad with the tapes in the car, Jeff.
Yeah.
The old Sierra.
Yeah.
Ford Sierra back in the day.
What was that? With cassettes, were they?
Yeah, cassettes in the
They
Ford
were the most
Sierra.
frustrating things in the history of the world, because they just used to get mangled.
Yes, every time.
All the time.
Yeah, great tunes though. I love UB40.
Oh, UB40 were fantastic, and I tell you what, their longevity as well, because it was year after year after year.
Yep.
And they're still in business now, still going strong.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I've got You Babe, Rat in the Kitchen.
No,
my favourite as well.
But Red Wine, that is, that's sort of their anthem, isn't it? Brilliant. What do we know this Thursday morning? Arsenal centre-back Gabriel will be sidelined for at least a month. He'll miss games against Spurs, Bayern and Chelsea. They've got plenty of cover, haven't
I've only
they?
got another 50 players. They'll be fine, Jeff. No problem.
Troy Deeney has gone after Steve McLaren after he resigned as Jamaica boss after their failure to qualify for the World Cup, at least at the first attempt. He said, I like Steve. If you're going to resign straight after a game, and apparently it's emotional, then you can't be reading off a sheet of paper.
Yes.
You can't be reading a script.
I found that odd, Jeff.
Yeah.
The reading off a piece of paper, like, it's just come from your heart, what you've been through, your experience, and how you're leaving. The way he was picking the paper up and looking at it, I'm like, did you do that after the game when you had half an hour to write a few notes?
I think the only thing is that you want to get it right. You want to say the right things.
Yeah.
You know, if this is your farewell speech, you don't want to take a misstep. Troy likes a headline anyway, doesn't he? Let's be brutally honest. I can say that now because he's in the States, so it's okay. He's not listening, I hope. And with Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo having a £65 million release clause in his contract, the former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy thinks he should choose Anfield as his next destination.
I'd say yes, because he's obviously not a big fan of Chiesa. The strength of Liverpool last year, really, I mean, Diaz, who played a lot of games centre forward, but Diaz played his best stuff off the left, and they didn't really replace him. Jota could play wide on occasion when he needed to. And if you're thinking about Salah and you're thinking right side long term, Semenyo's equally happy on the right as he is on the left. You've got African nations coming up if you wanted to try and get him in January. Chiesa can play on the right and Frimpong can, but I don't think Slot fancies either of them to play that position. I may be wrong with Frimpong. Maybe we've seen him play there once, and he struggled a bit on the night when he played there. So, do they need him? Yes. They could certainly. He'd enhance their forward line for sure.
Well, he'll be plenty of offers, there's no question about that, because he's had a fantastic, season and a half. You would say Liverpool, Gab, aren't having enough problems trying to bed in the signings they've made in the summer?
They are, but I do agree with Danny in the sense of they haven't replaced Diaz. Diaz is a massive loss to Liverpool, an outstanding player for them, been an outstanding season so far at Bayern Munich. But I just love Semenyo. I think he fits into any team in the Premier League. I really do, Jeff. This season so far, 11 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. But he can play off the right, he can play off the left. He's quick. He can score every type of goal. He's strong as well, so he's not going to get bullied off the ball. I love watching him, and I think when I heard that 60 million release clause, I was like, oh, Bournemouth, it's not looking good.
No, it's not, but the only thing I would say is he might be loving life at Bournemouth. You know, he's got years to come.
I think the release clause has been put in there because he signed a new contract in the summer for a
possibly.
reason.
Yeah, possibly. But with Bournemouth maybe he felt at that stage Bournemouth have sold some absolute star players that they would struggle this season, but they haven't.
No, 100%. But you'll also maybe look at like where Howson's gone.
Yeah,
Kirkes. Double your money, maybe triple your money, some of them. Maybe he's looking at that and saying, I'll sign a new contract, but release clause allows me to go and fulfill my dreams. I think he'll fit in at Arsenal as well. There's so many clubs he could fit in at, Jeff. He's a top player.
Yeah.
Love watching him play.
Very talented player indeed. Would he fit in at Villa?
I think I'd love to have him, mate, yeah, but unfortunately, Jeff, I think he'll be looking at bigger clubs than us.
Oh, okay.
I can be honest.
Premier League's back, of course, this weekend. Leeds against Villa, that's a big game, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Actually, well, for both sides, but more in a lot of ways for Daniel Farke's team, because he's clearly under pressure. And we talked at the start of the season, didn't we, about how essential it was for Leeds to win their home games if they were going to stay up. They've only lost once at home, and that was against Tottenham.
They have to look at this game as well, Jeff, of, okay, we have to win this game.
Yeah.
Yes, Aston Villa are in great form, but if you win this game on the weekend, you play play after Newcastle. If Newcastle lose to Man City, Leeds win, you go 3 points ahead of Newcastle, and you're under pressure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think important game and up-and-coming home games, like you said, they have to get results. They have to. And make it a fortress. Make it a horrible game if you're Leeds.
I mean, they've got
it messy.
A really tough run of games coming up at the moment, and this is the first of them. And the question, and I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record, but when it comes to Leeds, the question always has to be, who is going to score the goals? Top goal scorer's got 2 so far this season, and I feel for Daniel Farke because he doesn't seem to have the options available.
He doesn't have the options, but he does have 3 strikers, doesn't he? But he doesn't really know which one's his best one. He keeps trying different strikers out. None of them are really performing. You look at Dan James, he's starting on the bench now. Aronson's got his place on that right-hand side. Can Longstaff come in with more goals? They need more goals from all over the pitch. Their centre-half, Roden, is their joint top goal scorer with 2 goals, which says everything.
Yeah, I mean, they invested something like £100 million in the summer. But their strikers, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin came in on a free. Nemecha came in on a free as well. I just wonder whether they got their priorities wrong.
If you don't score goals, good Jeff, you've got no chance, especially in the Premier League, because a team like Leeds, Burnley, they're always going to concede goals. The level's gone up. And Calvert-Lewin, 1 goal, you know, hasn't hit the heights that maybe Leeds would like. Found himself on the bench recently. So they've got problems, and maybe in January they might have a bit of money to try and solve that striker problem, like Everton will want to do.
Yeah.
So many teams need a top number 9.
Yeah. They're hard to find at the best of times, but in January, whoa,
all the best.
They are gold dust, aren't they? And Villa flying, of course, won 5 of the last 6 league games. Don't forget, Premier League returning here. We'll have you covered right here on talkSPORT. We kick off with Burnley against Chelsea. Saturday lunchtime. Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds for all the goals in the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well. And Game Day Live will come from the Emirates for the North London derby. Can Spurs cause... What do you think? Can Spurs cause an upset?
I think they can.
Do you?
Spurs are at home, aren't they?
No, Spurs are away.
Spurs are away. Ooh. No Gabriel. I think I fancy Arsenal at the Emirates for sure.
Spurs away record, you know, better than their home record though at the moment.
I think it'll be a tight game though.
Yeah.
I don't see it being like a 3-0, 3-1. I feel like Arsenal will win, but it'll be a tight game. Someone like Eze, Saka, the form that they're in, especially for England as well.
Yeah.
Won't surprise me if they're the difference.
Yeah. Might be settled by a set play. Sorry. No, don't. I haven't got any texts this morning, so you can text what you want to. I'm only joking, okay? It doesn't matter whether you win by a set play or not. Right, don't go anywhere. We're joined next by 2-time Premier League winner, former Blues loanee, their player of the season, in fact, Joe Hart.
fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates? Well, this season you actually can, and not just there. You can do it at Anfield, Goodison Park, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford too. But hold on, I hear you cry. Isn't drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games illegal? You're right, for the men's game it still is, but the Women's Super League is doing something different. And here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL 2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Good morning, 7:05. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, and Gabby Agbonlahor. We are live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. Big day for Birmingham City today because later this afternoon they'll be unveiling their brand new 60,000-seater state-of-the-art stadium. Lots of Birmingham City fans to come. Aaron Ramsey coming up as well in around 15 minutes' time. But right now I'm delighted to say that joining us is this man.
Joe Hart pulls out a magnificent save. At his time, when he was playing, he was a world-class goalkeeper. I played with Joe Hart, and he was good with his feet. Brilliant with his feet.
Great guy, great lad, great goalkeeper. He's actually probably the best goalkeeper I've ever trained with.
Brought down by Modric, faced up by the goalkeeper. Hart comes out brilliantly. Brilliant save again. Second outstanding stop in this second half from Joe Hart. Best keeper since David Seaman. I think he's better than Pickford.
75 England caps, two-time Premier League winner, four-time Golden Glove winner, and he's going to be playing in the Icon series. I think it's the second time that this has been played for. Joining us now to tell us all about it is Joe Hart. Morning, Joe.
Morning, Harty.
Morning, gents. What's happening? All right, Gabby?
You right, mate?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, we'll talk about the golf in a moment, but we're live at Birmingham City's training ground this morning. And that must bring back some nice memories for you because you had a really successful season here.
Yeah, I had a wicked time at Birmingham. Really appreciate they gave me that opportunity when I wasn't particularly wanted at the time. Young goalkeeper, Premier League, Alex McLeish. We had a really good group of players, and it was a good season. Unfortunately, Gabby's probably going to take it, but yeah, the Villa.
Yes.
I can't remember that part.
Yeah.
Honestly, Joe, we've been here for an hour. It's all he's talked about. He's been banging on about it. And worse than that, we've even got the audio of it. This is how it happened.
Ashley Young then to pop it in. Peru.
Oh, dear.
And Agbonlahor has scored. And he may well have snatched victory in the second City derby for Aston Villa.
Yeah. No,
that was not my idea, Harty.
No, it's all good. It was a good. He scored a few past me, Gab. So they had a few to pick from.
Did I? When else did I score past you, Joe?
Oh no, you're really teeing me up to say it.
I won't bring it up. What was your memories though, Harty, of like the rivalry between Blues and Villa, and before that game? Did you feel the energy going towards it?
Oh, mate, I absolutely loved it. I really, really felt it. The intensity on the day, the games were really, really tight. Both had good teams at the time. You guys came out on top in both of them, but they were fierce derbies. There's nothing better when they have to do a derby around 12 o'clock because they can't let it run any later. I think that's the statement.
Hey, Joe, we might talk about goalkeepers in a minute or two. Tell us about the Icon series. I think you played in the first one, didn't you? And I looked at some of the names. Oh, my goodness. Carlos Tevez, Batistuta, Figo, Ruud Gullit, Teddy Sheringham, Paul Scholes, Robbie Fowler. I mean, I'd pay good money to come and watch this. This sounds fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, it's mega. I came out, I didn't really know what to expect last year coming out to Thailand, and I knew we were going for a golf tournament, and I saw some of the names. I didn't know if it was going to be a bit of a jolly up or if it was going to be taken seriously, but it was taken so seriously. Here at Icons, they've done an incredible job. Rainwood, that hosts us, one of the best courses I've ever played. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant week. We ended up successful, but I know a lot of hard work's gone in to recruiting some new players and some big names like you talked about there. So we're out here now, getting ready, and then come the end of January, it's going to go off again. I can't wait.
Harty, what ex-player stands out the most? Because JT's having himself a bit, isn't he? Is he good?
JT's a player, mate. He's a he's a proper player, and so is Jimmy Bullard as well. I know that Shevchenko's coming in. Zola was very good. Batistuta performed. You got the likes of Luis Figo. I know Teddy Sheringham played really well last year. Mate, everyone's good. I'm bottom of the pile when it comes to quality. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. I was with Jimmy Bullard the other day. I tell you what, he is some player. He really is, you know. And with Jimmy, nothing phases him. Absolutely nothing phases him. It's brilliant. When does it all start, Joe?
So we're out here just getting ready today. Myself and Aaron Ramsey, we're going to have a round. And then it's the 31st of January, 31st and 1st of February. That's when it runs over 2 days, kind of a Ryder Cup feel to it. It'd be awesome, man. It'd be electric.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I saw the pairings for the final day, and honestly, they were mind-blowing, some of them. What do you play off, Joe?
I'm playing off 12 at the moment, trying to bring it down and be a bit more consistent, but it's such a tough game.
Yeah. Are you a golfer, Gabby?
I tried lessons at the Belfry 2012. I couldn't hit the ball, and the coach just says maybe we should leave it as that. So I'm not playing since, Jeff.
Hey, Joe, while you're with us, let's just talk goalkeepers for a moment. And it's all about Scotland this week. Can you believe that Craig Gordon, he'll be 43 when the World Cup comes round, and he might well be going with Scotland? That's an amazing story.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it was Craig and then Casper up the other end, coming up, I think, just turned 39. Yeah. But I don't even think... I think Craig's more miraculous. I don't think he's kicked a ball this season. I think he's just been training and recovering. To play at that age, credit to him. You know, I'm 38 now and I finished a year and a half ago. So credit to him. He's a great professional. I know he's missed long bits of his career with injury. So I think he very much appreciates that whilst he's fit and swinging, he's going to be out there.
Harty, moving on to your old club, Manchester City, flying at the moment. I want to ask you 2 questions. First of all, the first one, how big is Saturday's game away to Newcastle? And also, watching the game against Liverpool, I had a quick look at the bench last night. Trafford, Stones, Rico Lewis, Aït-Nouri, Aki, Reinders, Bob, Marmouche, Savinho. They've got some squad of players, haven't they, to go and really test Arsenal now?
Yeah, I feel like the start of the season was massive for City and the signings that they've made. I think they needed that little wobble because I think there was a bit of a false dawn, and they had it also in the summer at the Club World Cup where I think they thought they'd restart the engine again, and then obviously they lost to the Saudi Arabian team. Start of the season, everything seemed good at Wolves, and then they got that little jolt, couple of losses. But they feel like they're really starting to find a flow at the moment. And that game against Liverpool last week or two, just before the international break, they were excellent. They looked dominant. And like you say, Gabby, with the bench they've got now, that's the threat you need. You can't just have a good 11. You need those threats on all parts of the pitch. And to answer your Newcastle question, that's such a huge game. With what Arsenal did as well earlier in the season, I think getting that the late winner. City, as good as they're doing at the moment, they've put themselves in a position where they can't really afford to have a bad result. So Newcastle's tough, but I think they'll believe with the squad they've got and with the way Haaland's playing at the moment, they can go there and win.
Brilliant. Hey, Joe, look, we've got Aaron Ramsey. You probably know we've got Aaron Ramsey coming on in a couple of minutes' time. Anything you can tell us about his golf?
No, we're going out onto the course in a minute. He's actually just rolled off the plane literally this morning. We've managed to hit one shot and he hit it pretty well. So I'm looking forward to see what he's got on the course.
Brilliant. Hey, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it, Joe. Joe, obviously you hung up your gloves far too early, 38. You look what Craig Gordon's doing now. Really appreciate the time this morning, mate.
Top man, Harty. Look after yourself,
mate. You're welcome. Nice on, guys. See ya. Cheers.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers,
mate. Joe Hart, brilliant.
Great keeper, great lad.
Actually, doesn't it? 38, he probably could have gone for a little bit more. But I suppose when you played absolutely at that highest level...
100%. Sometimes it can be injuries. It can be maybe, you're not getting through games, and especially a goalkeeper. The way they dive about, the injuries they must have and the pain. But outstanding career, outstanding guy as well.
Yeah, plays off 12. And he's self-critical himself. Yeah, not far off you. Yeah. That's 12 per hole, Gabby, you're thinking of. Yeah.
Not 12 hours to finish.
Okay. Well, as we mentioned there, up next we'll be joined live by one of Wales' modern legend, the former Arsenal midfielder Aaron Ramsey, coming up next. Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get £750 of any used electric car, a home charger. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is beside me. Some more drum-based music for your Wild Boys by Duran Duran. Were you a fan?
No.
No!
But hearing it...
You were the first person I've ever met who didn't love Duran Duran.
I've not heard much of their music, but listening to that, it sounds like a tune, Jeff. Yeah.
My goodness, it wasn't the only one. Things like, the classic was Hungry Like the Wolf. I mean, that was just fantastic.
What year was this? What year are we talking?
Duran Duran, what were they? Sort of early, mid-80s, something like that? Yeah, they were phenomenally successful. Right, we are coming to you live today from the Birmingham City training ground. Some big announcements to come from City a bit later today, where they'll be unveiling their brand new stadium. A bit more on that after 7:30. But the big names right now, they keep on coming. So time for someone a bit special.
Wilshere to Sonogo, comes back to Giroud, tries to back heel him into Ramsey, who arrows it into the corner and wins Arsenal the FA Cup. It's been a long time coming for these Arsenal fans. Aaron Ramsey with the goal. It just had to be. It's been Aaron Ramsey's season.
Bale searching ball, wonderful ball. Ramsey this time. Aaron Ramsey for Wales, right on the money with a priceless goal.
It's amazing. It's Aaron Ramsey. That's the response of Arsenal. And Ramsey totally unmarked, steered in the header. Arsenal win the FA Cup for a 13th time.
Yeah, the countdown to the Rainwood Icons of Football 2026 is officially underway in Bangkok. Sensational week of golf at Rainwood Park ahead of next year's blockbuster showdown between Team England and Team World. We've heard from Joe Hart, he's part of it. And joining us now, another man who's part of it. And he scored the winning goal in a couple of FA Cup finals, was a key part of Wales' run to Euro 2016. He played in the 2022 World Cup for Wales as well. Arsenal legend, of course. Aaron Ramsey joins us now. Very good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. Good morning, gents.
Look, Joe Hart says he wants to get you straight out on the course because he said you've just stepped straight off the plane.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, a bit jet lagged, so he's trying his chances a bit there, isn't he?
Brilliant stuff. Look, let's start with Wales, shall we, just for a minute, Aaron, because you know what it was like to play for them in the last World Cup. I mean, qualifying for the playoffs with a home draw against North Macedonia is one thing, but the manner in which they did it, 7-1, did you see that coming?
Yeah, I think obviously I was there all week with the preparation, and it didn't quite happen in the first game. Against Liechtenstein, a lot of people thought we'd go there and hammer them, but them games are quite difficult. With the travelling, going there, they sit in a low block. But then North Macedonia have been a real threat this campaign, and have only conceded 3 goals. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. But I knew what the boys are capable of, and the way that we're set up, that we were going to be quite offensive, and the handbrake was going to be off. So yeah, it was a fantastic performance.
The semi-final in the playoff will now be at home because of the win against North Macedonia. We talk about the 12th man in football, but it really is, isn't it, when Wales play at home in big games?
Oh, yeah, they've been huge. They've been every part, every bit as important as anybody. They've more than played their part. They've been on this journey with us throughout, the highs and lows, but they've been... Yeah, when we're playing at home, it's just incredible, especially the anthem at the beginning when the music goes off, and then it's just, it is spine-tingling moments. So, if you can't get up for a game of football after hearing that, then, you're in trouble. So, it's an amazing experience.
You must have played against Craig Bellamy many, many times. Are you surprised at the sort of manager he's turned into?
Yeah, I played against him. I played with him, so I knew all about him as a player. But I think what he's done as a manager has been incredible. His man management is through the roof. I think he's a real big strength of his now. And the football and the detail that goes into everything is second to none. I mean, you know, he's had a good sort of start to his managerial career, and been quite successful, you know, with the stint in Belgium and then with Burnley. So, you know, he's really taken to it, and I've been so impressed by it. And as you can see, the whole squad has bought into that and are flourishing under him at the moment.
Aaron, I want to ask you about Arsenal now. 4 points clear at the top of the table. Been a fantastic season so far. So many clean sheets. Do you think these players now and the manager have got the right mindset and quality to win the Premier League?
Yeah, I think obviously what we've seen this season has been it's been incredible. The way that they've played, the amount of clean sheets that they had. They look like they're a team now that is ready to take that next step. It's not easy to win a Premier League by no means, but I think this is as good a chance as they're going to have. It's an important week for them coming up now. They've got obviously Spurs, and then they've got Bayern, and then Chelsea, I think, the following week. So an important week for them to get through. But yeah, they've been really impressive so far this season.
Yeah, North London derby next up. You liked a goal against Spurs in the derby, didn't you? So what are those games like to play in?
Oh, they mean everything. They're you know, to the players, to the fans, to the club, is the one fixture that you look for immediately. And you know, it's such a privilege to play in them games, and it means everything to come away from them games with a victory. So, I mean, it'll be bouncing there on Sunday, sorry, and yeah, I'll. You know, I can't see anything other than an Arsenal win at the moment, the way that they're playing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
What's next for you, Aaron? Last season you took charge of Cardiff for a short while. Is being a manager a goal for you in the future?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the route. I never thought I would, but definitely in the last few years, I've had, you know, I've done my badges. I'm on the pro at the moment, so it's something that I really enjoy doing with Cardiff 18s at the beginning of that, and then obviously I took charge of Cardiff for the last 3 games, which was really good. So great experience, obviously as well. I went with Wales last week and had some real good, you know, insight into everything that goes in behind the scenes, and the hours and the effort and the detail that goes into them things, into preparing the boys as best they can to execute a game plan. But it's addictive. So yeah, I definitely see myself going into that space.
You'll have no time for golf then, mate. None at all. How's your game looking, Aaron?
I haven't played a lot, but yeah, over in Mexico, it was difficult to get out and play. So, yeah, there'll be a few cobwebs out there today, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be playing amongst some massive names, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, huge names. I mean, yeah, it's stacked full of them. So I think there's some more being announced. You know, I won't give anything away, but yeah, there's some more being announced in the coming weeks as well. So, yeah, a really, you know, top event that is probably as close as you're going to be to playing a proper, you know, golf tournament. So exciting times.
Do you get more nervous playing in something like this than you did when you were playing for Arsenal?
Oh, 100%. That first tee shot. I'm not looking forward to that. I just hope I get it off the floor.
Brilliant. Hey, I'm sure you will, Aaron. Sure you will. Look, I really appreciate your time, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Go and have a practice round and then get some kip. Yeah.
Lovely. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Big thanks, Aaron. Big thanks to Aaron Ramsey and the course before him, Joe Hart. Oh, my word.
Whenever we used to play against that Arsenal side of his, honestly, mate, Wilshere, him, Rosicki, like just popping you, just chasing shadows. Top player, Ramsey.
I think he'll go on to make a good manager as well.
Totally agree.
He's level-headed enough too.
Of course.
Yeah.
So much experience in the game.
Brilliant. If you want to get involved, by the way, reminder that Rainbow Icons of Football in Bangkok, 31st of January to the 1st of February. Features 24 world-renowned footballers, and I mean world-renowned footballers, by the way. A couple of superstar captains from the golfing world. It's a fast-paced 10-hole team match play format. There'll be a live global broadcast, a festival atmosphere with food, entertainment and fan access. Thousands of spectators, all at Rainwood Park. The Rainwood Icons of Football 2026. Being broadcast live across the world with extensive coverage on Icon Series digital channels and major international sports networks. Tickets on sale at www.icons-series.com. Demand expected to be extremely high. Believe me, it is a real star-studded lineup. Coming up, we'll hear from the England legend Darren Goff ahead of the Ashes getting underway. What makes this team capable of winning in Australia? Goffy will tell you next.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the taxman at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something, because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Good morning, it is 7:34, Thursday, the 20th of November. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. We are live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. I'm Jay Stelling. Gabby is with me this morning, building up to what's a really big day, actually, for Birmingham City, because thousands of jobs are being created, millions of pounds are being spent on a brand new stadium, which is going to be unveiled today. Will seat more than 60,000 Birmingham City fans. It's your biggest nightmare, isn't it, Gabs?
What, them having a better, newer stadium than Villa? I know, but I like stadiums with history, Jeff. Villa Park.
Well, Birmingham, I mean, look, St Andrews got history.
No, I know. The new stadium won't, will it?
Yeah, well, you know, it'll become historic over the years. What, I mean, the big thing is it's going to be a fantastic facility, not just for Birmingham City, by the way, but for Birmingham itself, because it'll be a major venue for massive concerts and events as well.
We need it. You know, there has been concerts at Villa Park, but you look at the capacity of Birmingham City, would it be 75,000?
Yeah.
Be able to attend a concert there. I think it's just what the city needs, like you says as well, bringing in so many jobs for people as well. It's great, and the future's looking very bright for Birmingham City. I mean, it's painful for me to say that, Jeff. I feel a bit dizzy, but they're looking like they're on the rise.
Yeah, well, I remember before the season started, Gabby, you were saying that there's every chance Birmingham could go straight through the divisions, from First Division up to Premier League. Do you still feel that way?
Well, they're 4 points off the playoffs.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it might be a bit difficult this season, but if they can stay in and around those playoffs, 4 points off, try and sneak into the playoffs at the back end of the season, you never know, do you? There's no reason why they can't. Ipswich did it, and I think they've got a real top squad of players. Back-to-back home wins, 4-0, which is hard to do in the Championship. We know the level of the teams, Portsmouth and Millwall in those games. So, yep, no reason why Birmingham City can't get promoted back to the big league.
The Championship's wide open this season. It's absolutely wide open. You'll be able to see the plans and designs of the new stadium today, by the way, on the Birmingham City YouTube channel from around 3:30. Now, the Ashes build-up is dominating the morning back pages, back of the Times. Ben Stokes says, let's make history. The Telegraph, this is our chance. It all gets underway overnight in Perth, 2:30 in the morning. One man hoping to improve on a record that's seen him never score a century down under is Joe Root. Former England bowler Darren Goff says if he doesn't get one on this tour, he can't be England's greatest ever batsman.
Well, if England win the Ashes, he's going to have a couple to his name. He'll be in the 40s, I've no doubt. He's a terrific player, averages over 15 Test cricket, over 150 Test matches. And there's no doubt. I don't think his career is defined by him getting an 100 over there, but I think people will go from saying he's the best player England have ever had. He might be the biggest run scorer. They'll say, not got 100 in Australia, that's the ultimate test. And they might say he's still one of the greats, but he's not the best. He might be the second best or the third best. But I still think he'll get 200s in this series.
Yeah, Joe is already England's leading run scorer in Test matches. Only Sachin Tendulkar is above him in history worldwide. But he has struggled down in Australia. Did it ever get into your head, Gabby, when you were playing, were there any grounds where you just felt you weren't going to do well, you knew you weren't going to do well?
St James's Park. Never scored there. Always, I don't think we won there from memory. Always struggled against Newcastle away. Always found the atmosphere as well electric. You know, your fans are so far away, Jeff. on that top tier. And I think you can probably ask that question to a lot of players. Newcastle away has always been one of the toughest places to go.
Yeah. Joe Root, I've got a feeling he's going to get a lot of runs on this tour, but we shall see. The latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is out now, by the way, as talkSPORT cricket editor John Norman, Aussie writer Jared Kimber, and the 2005 Ashes winner Steve Harmison bring you a special edition of the podcast as the boys run through everything you need to know ahead of the Ashes series in Australia. If you want to hear more, then the talkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms right now, 2:30 in the morning. Remember, they start in Perth. Also on the back pages this morning, Freedom. That's the headline on the back page of The Sun. Ruben Amorim's claiming Sir Jim Ratcliffe's public vote of confidence is driving Manchester United's revival. They're hoping to make it 6 unbeaten next Monday night against Everton, a game which is live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Let's remind ourselves of what Sir Jim told the Times Business podcast just last month.
Ruben, he needs to demonstrate that he's a great coach over 3 years.
So you give him 3 years?
Yeah, that's where I would be. Yeah, 3 years, because it's not football's not overnight. No. And you look at Arteta at Arsenal. You know, he had a miserable time for the first couple of years. You know.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Gabby? I mean, did that Jim Ratcliffe 3-year promise, if you like, did it make a difference?
Listen, they've looked a lot better, Jeff. I feel like their star players have turned up. Cunha's looked sharp. Mbumo has been revelation, been outstanding this season. Šeško's injured now.
Yes,
I think he's out for like a month or two. We'll look at the next 5 games, Jeff, and we'll be able to tell more about Manchester United. You look at those games, and it's Everton at home, Palace away, West Ham at home, Wolves away, Bournemouth at home. There's no reason why the squad of players that they've got, they can't win all 5.
Yeah.
Let's see what Manchester United do in the next 5 games. I wouldn't get too carried away, but it's looking a lot more positive.
Bit premature to get carried away.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. They are still conceding quite a number of goals. They've conceded 2 in each of their last 3 games. If you keep on conceding 2 in a game, you're not going to win many.
I remember I was watching the Spurs game, and then the commentator was saying, Manchester United don't keep clean sheets, Spurs will score. Next minute, Spurs score.
Yeah.
It's like, is that a mental thing with Manchester United? Is it the change of centre-halves? Loves to change a centre-half during a game, or a wing-back? I'm sure a back 5, Jeff, can play 90 minutes. It is very odd for the manager. Loves to make that change. But Mbumo is not going to be able to get you out of it every game. You're not going to have to be able to score 2-3 goals to win a game every week. So they've got to do better. And I really want to see Harry Maguire really in the heart of that defence.
Yeah.
Because I think he's still got a big part to play for Manchester United.
I mean, with the Jim Ratcliffe thing saying, you know, he's got 3 years, I guess one thing that does do is if there are any dissenting voices in the dressing room who are thinking, well, this manager's not going to last.
Yes.
You know? Now they know he is going to last, so consequently they've quietened down.
100%. And do we sack managers too easily? Yes, too quickly? Yes, we do. Manchester United, I've never said that they should get rid of Amorim. It's just that everyone agreed he's been a bit too stubborn. The formation wasn't working. It is working now, but let's see what happens over the next 5 games. But like you're right, Jeff, some players in squads might be like, oh, he doesn't fancy me. Okay, this manager's going to be gone soon. To know that he's got 3 years, the backing of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, players will now have to stop thinking about other plans and knuckle down. Even players like Mainu.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get that move until January maybe. Can you knuckle down and try and break yourself into the team?
Could they finish top 4?
Why not? They've got the squad too, Jeff. I mean, the amount of money they've spent. Going out and buying Šeško, Cunha and Mbumo with Fernandes behind, why shouldn't they? But I don't think they will. I still think Manchester United will. They will have a spell where they go back to the Manchester United that we used to be honest.
You're in a bit of trouble, by the way.
Oh, no.
Vernon's texted us on 81089.
Yeah.
He says John Taylor, who is legendary member of Duran Duran, is a huge Aston Villa fan.
Yes.
So you are off his Christmas card list.
Oh, no. I love Duran Duran. I was just I felt a bit dizzy, Jeff, being at the Birmingham City training ground.
Just run us through a couple of their songs again.
We've got a break, haven't we?
7:43. Right, still to come on Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
We've already had the likes of Joe Hart and Aaron Ramsey on the show. Big name guests will keep coming your way until 10 o'clock. Tom Huddleston, Jay Stansfield, Lyndon, Dykes, Chris Davis, Stephen Knight, they will all be with us between now and 10 o'clock. Up next, though, how on earth do twins support the two biggest rivals in Birmingham? We'll find out as we're joined by the Weasley twins of Harry Potter fame. Now, as I look ahead, all thanks to the brilliant Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Good morning, 7:48. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. We are live from Birmingham City's training ground this morning. We've just opened the curtains on the windows of the studio that we're in right here, and there's an absolutely gorgeous blue and pink sky over the Birmingham City training ground at the most beautiful, Gabby, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stunning, Jeff.
Stunning.
It's stunning.
Stunning, it is. Right, some headlines this Thursday morning. Hey, sit tight for this one, okay?
Oh, no.
Wayne Rooney has named his 3 Premier League players of the season so far, and there's no place for Erling Haaland. His top 3 are Antoine Semenyo, Brian Mbeumo, and Victor Gyökeres. Now, come on, Wayne. I know he wants to make his name as a pundit, but, you know, you could be too daft sometimes.
Has he been speaking to Jamie O'Hara, do you reckon? Maybe.
Gyökeres ahead of Haaland.
No way.
I mean, seriously?
Haaland should be the first name that comes out your mouth.
It should, Wayne.
He's been in.
It should. So, yeah, make a few headlines, but not such daft ones,
No.
Making headlines, here we go again. Monty Panesar's called on the Barmy Army to barrack Steve Smith over his role in the Sandpaper Gate ball tampering scandal 7 years ago, saying he should be made to feel guilty about standing in as Pat Cummins' replacement skipper. I mean, seriously, Monty, come on. 7 years ago. Time to forget it.
Let it go.
Yeah, and Steve Smith, by the way, been a thorn in the side for England for many a year. Huge weekend of rugby union coming up, of course. England host Argentina on Sunday, fresh off the back of that win over New Zealand. Here's talkSPORT's Alfie Reynolds with all you need to know.
The England head coach Steve Borthwick has named his team to take on Argentina this weekend. It's England's final game of 2025 after last weekend where they beat the All Blacks. There are 6 changes from that side, including Elliot Daly, who's going to be playing his first rugby since injuring his arm on the British and Irish Lions tour in the summer.
No, it's great. Yeah, it was obviously probably my longest injury now, so it's been a bit frustrating at times, but it's part of what we do. So, no, I feel in a good place about it. I've been training for feels like ages now, so I'm ready to go.
Daly comes onto the wing. There are also changes in the backline with Ben Spencer and Henry Slade being involved. In the forwards, it's Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickey and Asha Opoku-Forjor who all come in. The Pumas are a side that have a perception, at least, of being inconsistent, capable of beating the All Blacks one week and then not backing it up the next. But Coles told talkSPORT that that's a perception the England team certainly don't have.
I think maybe, you know, that stereotype of hot and cold definitely is more of a media thing. I don't think it's something I've even considered as a team. I think, you know, my debut was against Argentina at Twickenham and they beat us that day, so, you know, I know that they're a top quality team that can hurt us, and we're prepared for that.
And we'll have updates for you on Game Day Live, so you won't miss any of the key moments at Twickenham this weekend. For more on all the day's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com. Now it's time for a bit of this. Iconic Harry Potter theme tune, which we're playing because we're being joined by 2 stars of the Harry Potter films. Ollie and James Phelps played the Weasley twins. You will remember them, Fred and George. In real life, one supports Birmingham City and the other supports Aston Villa. So how on earth has that happened? Let's find out as they both join us now. Ollie, James, morning to you.
Good morning, lads.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby.
So, look, let's sort out who supports who, first of all. Ollie, who do you support?
Well, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I'm wearing a Villa top with a Villa background. You know, I try and get a bit of Villa in this whole conversation today. And James, I think, was dropped on his head by my dad when we were younger.
So, come on, how does this happen, then? Yeah, how does it happen? I mean, you know, wasn't your dad trying to influence you one way or the other? Is one of you the black sheep of the family?
My dad's definitely the one influencing us, Jeff. So I remember when I was about 5 or 6, he took me, he's a Blues fan, but we grew up in Sutton Coldfield, which is a predominantly Villa part of town. But my dad took me to my first game when I was about 5. They had to beat Charlton to stay in the old First Division, and then they scored, and then that was it. So that was they won the game 1-0, and then that was ever since I've been a Blues fan. For better or worse. Better things now coming this way, though. So I think, is that why Gabby's there today? Because he wants to be there to say, I was there the day the new stadium's announced, and the greatest team in the land came about.
What about you, Ollie? Why did you choose Aston Villa?
As James said, grew up in the Villa part of Birmingham in Sutton Coldfield. And at the time as well, I suppose I probably started following football a little bit later than he did. I was probably about 9-10 years old, which at the time Villa were, winning the League Cup. They were pushing in the top parts of the Premier League. And that's kind of why, really, like a lot of my friends were talking about going to watch Villa doing really well. So I went with my granddad down to Villa Park and thought, this is what a football team looks like. And it was just all part of it, really. And we've just, I've never regretted it for 1 minute at all.
James, have you been to Villa City derbies before? Would you go to the game if Villa were playing City? Would you go to the game together?
Yeah, we've been to a couple of games together actually, which was interesting. I think it's that only time of the year when literally you can tell just walking through the city centre who supports who. But I think it's a great rivalry, and I'm really excited that obviously the trajectory Blues are on at the moment. Then I think it's great to play a derby game, but playing it in the Premier League is what you want to do, because you want the two teams to be the best they can, to literally say they are the best team there.
It's been
I'm just trying to remember the last time.
For...
So I was going to say, Gabby, I can't remember the last time we played them, to be honest. It's been so long ago.
Yeah, I'm just picturing, right, in a couple of years, a watch-along used to watching a Villa Blues derby. I'm sure that'll get some views, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we did one for Villa, actually, Gabby, and you scored the winner. Shock, horror in a derby. That's why I was so surprised that...
I didn't want to bring that up.
I was so surprised that you were there today.
I'm getting double pay. That's why, Ollie. Double pay, mate.
Ollie, let's hear it from a Villa fan. Come on, surely you would love to see Blues back in the Premier League.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it would be obviously good. Well, you were just talking about earlier about the city in terms of Birmingham as a city. It would be great to obviously have two big teams in the league. So that's obviously going to be a good thing. And hopefully, as James said as well, if you're going to play a derby, why not play it in the top flight? So we'll just have to see. But it'll always be one of those things, I think, where they've got a long way to go to catch up with Villa standing in the city.
Brilliant. How excited are you, James, today to see the plans for the new stadium? It's looking really exciting for Birmingham City fans.
It's going to be great, because I know that the big infrastructure, it's not just the stadium they're talking about, it's the big infrastructure all around it. And I think that part of town definitely needs some love and care. And the transport links and all that kind of stuff. So if that can come together, that'd be great. And I think that I think you can just look at what's happening with Man City, for example. Obviously, that they got theirs through the Commonwealth Games and everything, but that new stadium, you talk about there's no history there, but all of a sudden everyone remembers that Aguero moment, probably more than a lot of people remember what happened at Main Road for 50 years before that, So I think it could be something great. And eventually I know Villa will be looking over to the other side, to B6, saying, I wish we had a stadium like that.
Look, boys, I mean, obviously, we know you're both from the Harry Potter films. Ollie, were you allowed to have a favourite? Do you have a favourite Harry Potter film?
I suppose probably filming, probably be the fourth movie. Maybe because there was such a good social scene on that when we were filming that. We were out quite often, but it was just a really good camaraderie with the whole cast and everything as well. It's great to see how it's like multi-generational now as well. How my daughter goes to school and like friends of hers are having Harry Potter birthday parties, which is a bit weird to go to, but it's quite cool to see it's transcended into a new generation.
Yeah. James, do you watch them? Is it the sort of thing you want to look back on, or you don't like to?
I hate looking at myself in home videos and things like that. So watching myself in a movie is even worse, especially when like you were 14 when we did the first one and my voice hadn't broken. So forever and a day, I'm known as like a really squeaky voice kid. So no, to answer your question, Jeff, no, I don't watch them back. As if they're on, I may watch them for a couple of minutes, but I don't sit down and watch them anymore.
My 7-year-old loves Harry Potter, and I was watching it with her like a year ago, and I was like, you see those two there? They're both Villa fans. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I both met them. Sorry, James. I told her that you're a Villa fan as well, mate. Sorry.
Ollie, James, look, really appreciate you giving up your time this morning. Thanks for joining us, fellas.
Appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Stay safe over there, Gabby.
Yes. halfway through.
It's a sort of bizarre situation, isn't it? Because sometimes you have husbands and wives who support different sides, but for twins brought up in the same household to support arch rivals.
I can imagine it'd be fun, though. Doesn't that show that, like, different family members can support different teams and still get along?
Yeah, which is how
I don't think I would have got along with my brothers if they were Blues fans, but it's good to see that some people can.
Ollie and James, Phelps, a.k.a. Fred, and George Weasley from the Harry Potter films. Coming up, we'll speak to the former Spurs and England midfielder Tom Huddleston, now assistant coach here at Birmingham City. And later, of course, we've got Jay Stansfield and Dykes and manager Chris Davis as well.
Over the years, we've been treated to some amazing exhibition events in sports. Some become iconic, but many fail to live up to the hype. So what are some of the most anticlimactic exhibitions? Technically, it wasn't an exhibition because it ended up being sanctioned as a pro fight, but it basically was. 2024 saw Mike Tyson return to the ring to fight YouTuber Jake Paul. The event, which Paul won, was streamed by 65 million people on Netflix, making it the most streamed sporting event ever at the time. But many complained of buffering and freezing. And as for the fight itself, well, it was considered an entertaining disaster. I mean, it wasn't prime Tyson. He was 58. And after the fight, Paul, who was 27 at the time, said he'd actually gone easy on Tyson towards the end. Now, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was a better watch, despite Mayweather going rope-a-dope early on, but it was way too expensive. Pay-per-view was 75 quid, and in the stadium, the cheapest ticket was over 370. Now, this next one you could have watched for free, only because the pay-per-view had streaming issues, so they had to open it out. I'm talking about Tiger versus Phil in 2018, which was nicknamed The Match. Massive names and massive rivals going head-to-head. On paper, it worked. In reality, it didn't. The two players were mic'd up, so we all thought we'll get fascinating insight. We'll be able to hear them insult each other for 18 holes. But what we actually got was more heavy breathing and sniffles. And for two GOATs, the golf itself was bang average. And speaking of GOATs, let's end with Messi and Ronaldo. In 2023, an exhibition between PSG and the Riyadh All-Star 11 saw them share a pitch for possibly the final time. To be fair, it was a goal fest, which PSG won 5-4, and Messi and Ronaldo both scored. But it was obvious they were past their prime. El Clasico, this was not. And with it being in Saudi, there were more sports washing claims. So there you have it. Exhibitions that have let us down. And I didn't even have time to mention the Community Shield.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. I'm Jay Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. Don't tell me that you didn't love ELO.
Loved them, Jeff. Loved them. Loved everything about them.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom? Did you love them?
You know what?
Can't hear
One of the greatest bands of all time.
I like this
Mr.
song.
Blue Sky is an absolute classic song. You know, a sort of precursor to Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen, really, because it was a mix of classic and rock and everything.
I need to follow
else
your
in there.
Spotify, Jeff. That's what I need to do. Get these songs playing in the car.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Love, love, love ELO. Right, it's been quite the first half of the show this morning. Already spoken live to Joe Hart and Aaron Ramsey, amongst others. You can catch up on both of those, by the way, on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. And with us here now, someone who's had quite the career, racking up more than 580 appearances for, amongst others, Hull City, England, and Tottenham, doing this in the North London derby.
Here's Crouch nodding the ball into the penalty area. Comes back out to Huddleston. Left-footed drive to... Oh! What a finish from Tom Huddleston. What a match here at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, he now plies his trade at Birmingham as a coach. Tom Huddleston's with us. Morning, Tom.
Morning, guys. Morning, mate.
A nice memory there.
Yeah, it was.
bit more exciting on the audio than Gabs was against Birmingham years ago. But no, it's good.
Jeff, this guy, by the way, hey, people listening, Tom Huddleston's technique. Remember being in the 21s with him? Left foot, right foot, no backlift.
He could ping a ball,
yeah,
couldn't he?
wherever you wanted it,
yeah.
at pace. Unbelievable technique, great player.
So how are you enjoying life as a coach?
Yeah, no, it's obviously very different, but probably the next best thing to playing, I guess. Still involved, obviously, in football, which is all I've known since being 15, 16 years of age. So, yeah, no, it's good. And obviously last year was a good introduction to full-time coaching for me.
Yeah, couldn't have been better, could it?
When you got an odd number, are you the first one to join in, Tom?
To be fair, me and Groundsy joined in yesterday, but that's international break and stuff like that. But generally, we use the young players if numbers are needed, so not too
Devastated.
Look, yeah, but you're in a good position to sort of judge the championship at the moment, aren't you? Because City have played some of the big boys, and they played Coventry, and they played Stoke, they played Borough, played your old club Hull as well, haven't they? So who do you see as the real threats in terms of promotion this season? Who do you think will be right up there?
It's easy to say now. I think obviously Coventry have started brilliantly. I think sort of their front five, front six, with the options they've got to choose from, I think they'll be a threat. A lot of long throw-ins, which is dangerous because they're probably getting the ball in the box an extra 10 or 12 times a game. So I think they'll stay right up there. And even though we have played a lot of the other teams towards the top end of the league, I think we've been in and competitive in most games and probably could and should have had maybe 5 or 6 points more. So I think a lot of it is up for grabs still, to be honest.
I was going to ask you, what are the goals for Birmingham City this season? Because at the moment, only 4 points behind the playoffs. Is it about fighting to get in the playoffs? And if you don't make it, then you look at that next season?
Yeah, I think the manager said from the start of the year it's about being competitive in this league, which I think we have been in every game we played so far, even though we played some of the so-called better teams. And even playing in the Championship years ago, I think there's normally 2 or 3 teams that you expect to run away with it, and then sort of the next 12 half expect to be in the top 6 or fighting for that. So I don't see no reason why that can't be our aim, but I think it's almost, as cliche as it sounds, trusting the process and keeping our performance level high, and then the results will follow.
Well, I mean, you certainly found your feet, haven't you, in terms of goal scoring in recent weeks. Has there been a change in the way you play?
Yeah, a little bit. We've managed to tweak the system a little bit, but nothing like massive change that the players took a while to adapt to. I think the lads took everything on board straight away, and it was just about getting additional numbers forward, really. So I think the lads took that on board, and yeah, the 2 home games that we played of late, we've managed to put the chances
Millwall
away.
and Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth.
Four past them both.
Yeah.
Steve-O from Corals is massive Portsmouth fan, you know. So
not great Portsmouth.
Somebody has to be, don't they?
You talk about the back-to-back wins, 4-0. Does it show that you have to make St Andrews a fortress? I mean, I've played there, and it is a fortress. The atmosphere from the home fans, is that something that you need to drill into the players to use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I think the lads know that. It can be hostile there in a good way for us. I think we went unbeaten there last season, so that was the backbone of a successful season. But I think this year we lost to Hull, which is the first loss in maybe 30 home games, which was disappointing because first half especially was one of the best we've played. So to lose that game was very frustrating. But we need to sort of restart that run and hopefully go unbeaten at home for the remainder of the season, which will give us a good chance to get our aspirations.
Yeah, well, that whole defeat would have been gutting for you, your old club as well, you know. So, look, let's have a quick word on the North London derby. Do you give your old side any chance at the Emirates on Sunday?
I do, to be fair. I had a look this morning, and I think Spurs are the best away record in the league, and second worst at home, which is a bit weird. So it might help them being away from home, even though the record at the Emirates isn't great. I'm coming out of an international break. Players travelling all over the world these days, you never know how long Arteta or Thomas Frank have had to prepare their players, so it might suit Tottenham being away from home.
Surely just give the ball to Van der Ven, let him take everyone on. He tried it in the international break. Did you see the clip for the Netherlands and he got took out got past 3 players again.
Yeah.
Was nearly going to do the same goal. He's been a standout player, hasn't he, in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think whenever Ramiro and Van der Ven stay fit, Tottenham look a completely different outfit, a lot more stable. But against Arsenal's low block at times, that might be difficult for him to run the length of the pitch. But again, there's something that he's got away from home with that Tottenham team at the minute. And yeah, you'd expect him to make it difficult. And what I like with Thomas Frank is it's not just one way of playing. I think he's quite adaptable to the opposition and their surroundings. So I think they'll probably have something up their sleeve. And in that game, especially against Arsenal, I think set pieces will be crucial.
Yeah, I mean, you played in plenty of North London derbies. The one that stands out in my mind was the 4-4, which was just an amazing game, you know,
yes.
absolutely incredible game.
Can I ask you quickly as well, I wanted to move on to Jude Bellingham. You know, he's been the talk of some journalists a lot recently, and my thoughts on it, especially Craig Hope, journalist for the Mail, it seems like a vendetta. It's got a bit personal with Jude Bellingham. What's your thoughts? Because ex-Birmingham City player, the world at his feet, and then people want to bring him down like we like to do in this country to our superstars.
Yeah, I don't know, vendetta is a strong word, but I think the best players in the squad normally get that with England. Our era growing up, obviously, Gaza got a lot of media attention. Beckham got slaughtered after the '98 World Cup and then managed to turn things around. I think a lot of it is probably boredom. England have qualified without any blips in the road. It's a long way to the World Cup. So I think Jude's at the biggest club in the world in my eyes. So I think him being left out a couple of squads is an easy one for the media to pick up on, but I'd be very surprised if England were to win the World Cup without Jude Bellingham in the starting 11.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's going to react in absolutely the right way, you know. And we have the fans singing "Hey Jude" again, because we were at the Euros last season, and that was the sort of go-to song for the fans all the time. "Hey Jude," that was his level.
No, exactly. I think he's had massive moments in an England shirt, and for someone still so young, he's dealt with a lot. He's played a lot of games. He's played at one of the biggest clubs in Germany, moved to, like I say, the biggest club in the world for me, and he's just shouldering that pressure like a duck to water, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We have to appreciate our stars, because if Bellingham was from Spain, they'd be loving him. They wouldn't be trying to put him down at every chance that they get. And like I've said many times, I think he's an outstanding player. Does he have to start every game in the World Cup? No, he might be in and out. Rodgers might play. But Jude Bellingham goes to the World Cup for me every day of the week.
Yeah. But nobody can be above criticism.
Of course. Totally agree.
Brilliant. Would you normally be here at this time of the morning?
Probably 20 minutes later, but yeah, not too far.
Brilliant.
Really? You should be here earlier, Tom. Watching all the videos, games.
Hey, Tom, really appreciate you coming in. Thanks very much indeed.
Appreciate it, guys.
Good luck with your career as well, mate. So, is management on the horizon in the distance? Do you think?
I'd like to give it a go at some point, but I'm not in any rush. I think I'm in an ideal situation. The way the club's going here, the manager, learning off the manager every day. I think I'm in the perfect situation. But yeah, longer term, I think if I got into my 50s and I hadn't given it a bash, I'd probably be frustrated with myself. So eventually.
Hey, well, good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Tom Huddleston coaching here at Birmingham City, and turned out to be another good season for the Blues. We'll talk a lot more about City over the next hour and 45 minutes or so. But coming up next, find out how the future Mrs. Agbonlahor would dress Gaby if he handed over control of his wardrobe like our good friend Sir Rod Stewart has. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark, 8:21 on Thursday, November the 20th. Get £750 of any used car or home charger. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me playing a bit of Brummy music this morning. Birmingham's not laying claim to Rod Stewart.
I think so, yeah. He does like Birmingham. He loves it a lot here.
Well, you can tell he's got that Brummy accent, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. Bit of Rod Stewart because he's in the papers today, actually. Apparently, he gets his wife, Penny Lancaster, to help him dress. And Penny says the reason he dresses so flamboyantly is because he's colourblind. He asks if certain things match with each other, and I just replied to him, well, it does on you. How would Mrs. Agbonlahor dress you?
Do you know what?
She had the choice. Does she have the choice?
She does dress. It might be embarrassing, Jeff, but she does get my outfits out, especially when I stay over in London. She'll pack my bag for me and get my outfits ready. This morning she chose this outfit. I don't know why. Claret jumper. I don't know why. I wanted to wear it all black. She chose it. But I've learnt off the best, Mr. Brazil. You know, Jill does everything for Alan, so that's why I want to go forward, Jeff.
Brilliant.
Easy life.
Love it, love it. Right, let's get the latest odds now with Coral and a man who is clearly colourblind.
Yeah.
Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Steve, that was very harsh because you are very coordinated this morning.
Thank you, Jeff.
Impressively so.
Well, I've gone for the blue theme, obviously, which is a bit Portsmouth and a bit Birmingham, so I'm just sitting in the middle. Gab, you've made it to Birmingham City Football Club.
It's a pleasure
Your
to be
lifelong
here,
ambition was to be here. Come on, how does it feel?
You know what? It's a big day, isn't it? New stadium reveal, so I wanted to, be part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I've jumped on the ship, yeah.
You're loving it here, aren't you? You're very local to here, Gab. You're from the posh part.
Not really. I'm a 15-minute drive from here.
The boys were telling me they got the invite round for dinner last night. Had the tour of the house.
Honestly, producer Ollie knocked on the door. I was only joking. What's time to come over? no beers left. No Coke Zeros. No food in the freezer left. Honestly. You get the bones and all sorts, Ollie.
Well, look, I mean, you're here with us this morning, Steve. Simon Clare's here as well. I met the other member of the Three Musketeers yesterday, John Hill.
The Rochdale Cowboy.
I did. I met him.
Yeah.
I was recording a podcast called Call Yourself a Fan.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, it was me, Jimmy Bullard and Shay Given against a team of fans, 3 fans. I mean, it wasn't Rochdale fans because they couldn't find 3 of them, obviously. Sorry, Rochdale. We were up against Newcastle fans, but I didn't recognise him because he had a bobble hat on, Thanks.
He's gone soft since he's been down south. That's the trouble with John. No, listen, Call Yourself a Fan, you're right. That's a show we're partnered with.
Yes, you are.
So look out. I think your episode comes out tomorrow.
It does. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Don't tell us who won, obviously.
Well, we came in the first 2. Let's put it that way. It was absolutely brilliant. We absolutely loved doing it. Bullard is a lad, isn't he?
That's great. It's a really good show. Alex Brooker, the host, is excellent
Alex
as well.
is great as well, yeah, absolutely. Loved it. But look, here we are. We're in Birmingham. Birmingham City odds this season, then. Can you give us a price for automatic promotion for the playoffs?
We were just looking, Simon and I, actually, that championship, Gab, is so congested. I mean, it is a brilliant league.
Yes.
I Portsmouth are in that league. We're at the wrong end of the table at the moment, but it is so tight. Birmingham at the moment sitting in that pack of so many teams. They're 22-1 for the title. Coventry are obviously flying under Frank Lampard. Coventry are odds on to win 8-11. I think more realistically for Blues fans, 4-1 promotion. That's what they're going for, obviously. And they are banging the mix with a whole group of clubs on there. Huge game this weekend. I mean, a game really they should be looking at Norwich.
New
Norwich
manager
struggling. 8-11 Birmingham, so they are odds on. Norwich almost 4-1, 11-4 the draw. But it's really exciting for us, Jeff. We joined when Birmingham, we partner with the official betting partner. We joined when they were still in League One, so we haven't jumped on the bandwagon, Gab. we're on this fantastic journey. Birmingham, I mean, it is a huge city for football, Jeff. We know we can joke with Gab and everything, but it's a huge city. And we've got loads of things going on, really, with the fans, because that's what it's about for us. And just a few of the initiatives to mention, actually, and this one's got a few people at our place sweaty, because we did an initiative that we would donate 500 quid for every home goal scored by the men's and women's team. Here we are, November, we're up to 17 grand. I have to say, Portsmouth played that huge part. Shipped 4, and then a women's team shipped a load when they came here as well. So we've done our bit for charity, Portsmouth, there's no doubt about that. But that will go to the Birmingham City Foundation. Loads of great initiatives, including walking football. I see you and I at that, Gab.
One day, mate.
We should come along to, I think.
100%, mate.
Because your paddle career isn't really taking off, is it? Let's be honest.
To be honest, I play on Monday nights with a few of the lads, and I am walking. Yeah.
But it shouldn't be walking football, is it? Is what you're saying, the one you're playing?
It's hard to track runners, Jeff, at my age.
And I talked about the Norwich game this weekend. A couple of other things we've got going on. Older Birmingham fans will remember, it used to be a thing where fans had the chance to chip a ball from the halfway line into a shed. And if they did it, they won the shed. Now, we've brought this back for this weekend. So fans get the chance to chip this. There's loads of other prizes as well as a shed. So we're not quite sure how we're going to get the shed home.
How far you got to kick it?
From the half centre circle into the shed.
By the goal?
Yeah. Ooh. So, you fancy your chances of that?
No, I can't reach there, mate.
No
chance.
And we've also launched...
It's not the sexiest prize, is it? A shed.
A shed? Who doesn't need a shed?
Well, anybody who lives on the 15th floor of an apartment block.
There are other great prizes, I should hasten to add. We've also launched it this weekend, our fans' own fan call, which we're putting up a blue phone box where Birmingham fans can go in and leave their motivational messages for the players. Now, obviously, we're going to vet those messages before they reach the players, just in case there's a rogue Aston Villa fan gets in there. But it's really great. We're loving it. The club, obviously, under the new ownership. Anyone that's seen the documentary Brady and the Blues, it is fascinating. And you mentioned that the new stadium launch this afternoon, heading off to that as well. So it's a fantastic time to be a Birmingham fan. And hopefully we're just enhancing that.
Yeah. I should have asked you the odds about Gaby getting out of here in one piece, but
I'm going in the back of Steve-O's
I think you're odds on at the moment, Gaby. You're odds on. Thanks very much, Steve-O. And that was a look at the latest odds, thanks to Coral, 18+, gambleaware.org. We will have more odds, by the way. A little later, we'll be looking at the Ashes and the World Cup. But up next, find out which Champions League winger could be playing for Scotland at the World Cup next summer.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, Gabby, Agbonlahor, and our good friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. 8:34. If you're going out, my goodness, get yourself wrapped up. It's freezing outside. You been out, Gabby?
No, mate, I like it in here, nice and warm. They're really looking after us, Jeff, haven't they?
It's perishing.
Yeah,
There's still frost in the
lovely,
ground
mate.
out there as well. And now a lot of places in Yorkshire, the North East, got loads of snow as well. Right, the talking is almost over. How will Bazball fare up? That's right, the Ashes now less than a day away.
That's it. It's all over. Australia win in Hobart. They win the 5th Test, and more importantly, they win this Ashes series 4-0.
Loads of us has-beens and never will-be's have been there before. Now it's down to these guys.
Cummins in again, and it's hit away for 4! England have won this match in the most extraordinary circumstances.
It feels like we've got a great opportunity, more so than that I've seen in the last 15 years. We've got a great opportunity to go there and do something special.
This series is the first time since probably 10-11 where I've sat here and gone, England have got a chance.
Put the beer away, put the champagne on ice. 24 years of pain in Australia. Finally, they're beaten at home by England.
History suggests we need to start well. If you go down in the first test, it's a long way back in Australia.
It'll all come down to the result in the first test. England win it, like I say, he can say what he wants.
They've got their best chance to beat Australia in Perth right now with the team that they've got.
Yes, all eyes on Perth then. The 2025 Ashes series gets underway tomorrow, early hours of tomorrow morning. And we'll finally get our answer. How will Bazball do down under? The war of words has continued today. Monty Panesar's called on the Barmy Army to barrack Steve Smith over his role in so-called Sandpapergate, the ball tampering scandal some 7 years ago, saying he should be made to feel guilty about standing in as Pat Cummins' replacement skipper. Well, here's Smith's response.
I'm going to go off topic for a second here. Who of you in the room has seen Mastermind and Monty Panesar on that? Any of you? Yeah. Well, those of you who have, you'll understand where I'm coming from, and those of you who haven't, do yourself a favour because it's pretty comical. Anyone that believes that Athens is in Germany, that's a start. Oliver Twist is a season of the year, and America is a city. Doesn't really bother me, those comments. So, that's as far as I'll go with that one.
I think it's fair to say, Gabby, he's not too rattled.
No. Easy mistakes as well. Monty Bannister made, but
Will Darren Bent had a few like that as well, didn't he?
Exactly.
You know?
But
biggest mistake is saying you're going on in the first place.
You're not wrong. But I didn't think the Aussies would get rattled, but that was definitely a big nibble there, wasn't it?
I mean, look, obviously Steve Smith's had a lot worse than that during his career. Look, Monty Panesar can stand up for himself, and he's joining Aid and Ray Parlour on the show tomorrow morning, so that'll be worth tuning in for. Meanwhile, on yesterday's Ashes preview show, the legendary former England fast bowler Darren Goff said, you need to have a bit of arrogance about you to win down under.
This team has so much confidence, it's almost got an arrogance about them. And to beat Australia, I think you have to have that because there's no doubt whatsoever Australia, when they are performing, they bully every team they play against. And this team will not be bullied. They'll not be intimidated by Cummins and Stark and Khawaja. There's no way. I mean, if anything, I think England are going to be the ones on the front foot with more voice than any of the Australians.
Well, it begs the question, do top sportsmen and women, do they need a touch of arrogance about them to be what they are?
I think the best players have been over the years, haven't they?
We talked about Jude Bellingham.
Exactly. He's got a bit of arrogance that we see as a good arrogance to get the best out of himself. Other people see it as a negative. But the best players have. Of course they have. Look at Ronaldo. Arrogance about him. But that's why he's one of the best ever players to play the game. Yeah. In every sport, you're going to need that. And maybe that is what Goffey rightly says, that we need to bring it home, because players have to stand up as well. Like you said earlier, Jeff, you know, players have to show leadership and be at their best in a tough place to go in that first test.
Yeah. I mean, if not arrogance, you certainly need a bit of self-confidence. I mean, for instance, I don't think Joe Root is an arrogant character at all, but he oozes self-belief.
What about Stokes? Would you say he's got a bit of arrogance about him?
Yeah, Stokes has got a bit of arrogance about him, that's for sure. You know, he's not afraid to have his say. He always believes he's right, which I think is got to be the case when you're a captain. When you're a leader, you've got to believe the things that you say.
I think that's why even these comments of has-beens hasn't really affected the ex-players.
No.
We had Goffey on, didn't we? They said, no problem.
Yeah.
Let him have his sort of little bite, you can call it, but that's him speaking his mind, not scared to speak out against what he doesn't agree with.
Yeah. England not won in Australia. I shouldn't be needing to remind you of this since 2010, 2011. Last 15 test matches there, England have lost 13 and drawn the other 2. But don't worry, England fans. We are here to help the third episode in a brand new 10-part series, How to Win the Ashes. We're going to make it really straightforward. OK, we haven't won in the last 15, but we're going to tell you how easy it is. How to Win the Ashes is out now on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Back to football now. Some interesting news for Scotland ahead of their first World Cup final since 1998, and it involves Harvey Barnes, the Newcastle United winger. Now, Barnes has apparently refused to rule out a shock nationality switch from England to Scotland. He's got one England cap, he came in a friendly. He is eligible to play for Scotland because he's not played in a competitive international for England, and he's eligible to play through his grandparents. Now then, what do you think, Gabby? Because to me this is almost a no-brainer in the sense that from Harvey Barnes' point of view, I just don't see him getting into the England squad in the foreseeable future. I mean, maybe he's got that touch of arrogance about him that says that he will. And from Scotland, it's a real no-brainer because he's definitely good enough to be in that squad.
I think the problem he's 27 now. Next World Cup,
is he?
Be 31, 32. So he's got to look at, is this his last chance to maybe go to a World Cup? And look at the pecking order. We've got Gordon, Rashford, you've got Eze. There's not really that position available at the moment for him to break in. He's not been in outstanding form. 1 goal in the Premier League in 11 this season. So for me, I would take that option. But I look at it from a Scotland point of view and the players that have blood, sweat and tears to qualify for the World Cup. And then a player who can't get in the England squad comes along and says, I'll play for you in the World Cup. How's that going to affect team morale? Maybe Steve Clarke would love him to come, but would it affect the squad now at Scotland?
Surely you've got to take your best possible squad.
Ruthless. Football's ruthless. I feel definitely, if I was a coach at Scotland, 100% I'll take him. But I'm just looking at all those players that have got a strong bond when they go away with Scotland. And to see a player that maybe was holding out for more England caps to come along for the World Cup. We've seen it with some of the African players that have played for England or holding out for England, and now some of the African teams are qualified for the World Cup and they're thinking of crossing over. It's caused a bit of outrage in some of the media back in Africa.
Well, you've got a bit of Scottish in you yourself. I mean, you could tell from your accent, can't you?
Yeah, my actual mum was born in Airdrie. Yeah, so I could have played for Scotland. But luckily for me, I got England caps at 21, so I didn't have that choice to make.
Difficult choice as far as Harvey Barnes is concerned. And, of course, then it would come down to whether Steve Clarke would want to disrupt the sort of family feel that he's got amongst his squad at the moment.
You've got Doak on that right-hand side, who's been fantastic. Imagine Barnes on the left. You can get McGinn back into the centre of midfield. It would help their squad a lot.
One thing they completely lacked, as soon as Doak got injured and had to go off, they lacked any pace, didn't they, going forward? And, of course, Harvey Barnes would give them just that.
What they're crying out for.
Yeah. Don't forget the other home nations. Scotland are there, as are England, of course. But the other home nations, Wales, Northern Ireland and the Republic, will find out who they'll face in the World Cup playoffs at around midday today. Wales guaranteed a home semi-final after that 7-1 thrashing of North Macedonia the other day. They finished second in their qualifying groups. Northern Ireland and the Republic, well, they'll have more difficult away trips, but they're all still in contention at this stage. If you tune in to White and Jordan, you will find out exactly who they will be up against. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Take a little walk to the edge of town, go across the tracks, where the viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it shifts and cracks, where secrets lie in the borders, fires in the humming wires. Hey man, you know you're never coming back. Past the square, past the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Oh, Lord. He's a man of hidden talents, isn't he?
Wonder who that was.
And some of them should remain hidden, I think. Wow. Brazil, of course, if you didn't know. The creator of Peaky Blinders, Stephen Knight, is a big blue, and he'll be joining us a bit later on this morning. Blues manager Chris Davis will be as well. Scottish striker Lyndon Dykes will be here. And Jay Stansfield, who joined the club for, around £15 million last season, will be joining us in the next hour. Lyndon might be a bit worse for wear after that Scottish World Cup qualification. You thought, I doubt it, though, because unquestionably he is a pro.
Yes.
And that was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ronald Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm just Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. We are live from the Birmingham City training ground, and a lot of food's just arrived here, I think, courtesy of Rob and the catering team. So thanks very much indeed, fellas.
Jeff, but why have they given me a special one on its own?
Yeah.
Can you try it first, Jeff, for me?
I'd be happy to try it if I could reach it. But there we go. Right, I'm delighted to say now that joining us right now is this goal machine.
Onto the chest of Stansfield! What a goal from Jay Stansfield to send Birmingham on their way to a return to Wembley, maybe.
Forced it on the rebound, and Birmingham, through Jay Stansfield, have a route back into this game. Stansfield, right place, right time to give Birmingham a lifeline.
He really reminds me of Jamie Vardy. He's slight, he's agile, he gets around the pitch, he's lightning quick. Really reminds me of Jamie Vardy.
Stansfield! It's 1-1! And this time it's Jay Stansfield firing the ball home. Stansfield! The first goal of the new championship season is a Birmingham City goal!
Yeah, big price tag didn't affect him last season. Got 19 for Blues as they were promoted as champions. Enough for him to be one of their 7 members in the PFA Team of the Year 2025. And a pretty good Euros as well with England under 21s. Delighted to say that Jay Stansfield joins us now. Hi, Jay.
Good morning, mate.
Good morning. Compared with Jamie Vardy, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a big name, and I think growing up as a kid, obviously you watch a lot of football, and yeah, he's an unbelievable forward, and to be able to watch him and be compared to someone like that is special. And like I said, yeah, it's just a privilege and things to be able to go out on the pitch and do my thing, and then people say that are comparing me to people like that. So yeah, it's really special.
Brilliant. Of course, when I was doing Soccer Saturday, I always used to mention your dad, because your dad Adam, played for, particularly for Yeovil and for Exeter. And of course, being as daft as I am, every time that Adam Stansfield scored a goal, I would say, Lisa will be pleased. And I remember when I saw you down at Exeter when you took the number 9 shirt, which they retired previously, I always said, I'm never going to say Lisa will be proud of you when you score, but I always say your dad would be proud of you. And I tell you what, your dad must be proud of you right now. 19 goals last season, going great guns this season.
Yeah, hopefully. I think that's obviously my main ambition, is to go out and make him proud every game and every day, and also my family as well. I think for my mum and the rest of my family to be able to carry on the legacy, because obviously it got cut short a few years ago now. So for me to be able to go out and still play football, and for them to come on a Saturday and make it sort of like, not their childhood, but like my mum would have gone to every game back in the day. So for her to be able to carry on that is special. And yeah, for me it's a thing inside me that drives me on to be better. So
yeah, because Jay's dad Adam died. He was only 31 when he passed away. Yeah. And Exeter retired the number 9 shirt until Jay went on loan from Fulham to Exeter. Amazing. And then got that number 9 shirt. It was incredibly moving, to talk to you then and to see what it meant to you and your mum. Does your mum come and watch your games now?
Yeah, my mum comes up every game. So like I said, that was a few years ago now. I remember sat there speaking to her in the Big Bank, and a really emotional time for me and my family to obviously relive that dream and that family name. So for me, that was a really special time in my career. And yeah, like you said, a few years ago now, and I'm sat here and at this amazing club, and yeah, hopefully making him proud every day.
Well, couldn't have gone any better, could it,
100%, and your family must be so proud of you. And I'll tell you who else are proud of you, the Birmingham City fans, because I speak to fans in the area, and you're obviously one of the favourites. How does that feel? Because as an ex-player myself, when I played, you always felt when the fans were on your side and the fans loved you, just give you that bit more during games. Do you feel like that at Birmingham City?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was one of my main reasons for coming back to this club. I think on loan as a young player coming into such a big club, it can be quite intimidating, but to have fans like that on my side the whole way and backing me the whole time was special. And even last season we went I had a few bumps in the road with maybe not scoring every game and things like that, but the fans were always there supporting me, and like I said, I can't thank them enough for helping me get through them times and becoming the player I am today. And for me, obviously, I'm here for a long time, so my dad was a club legend at a club, and that's something I strive to be at Birmingham, is try and become a legend of this football club and do whatever I can to get this club back to where they need to be.
I mean, big price tag. They paid a lot of money for your club record fee. Did that weigh on your mind at all when you first came here?
It was in conversation. It was a lot of, are you going to be able to deal with this? Are you going to be able to deal with that? But I think for me it was a no-brainer. I think I needed to take a different step in my career, and I thought this was the best place for me to come and develop and get regular first-team football, and I've not looked back since.
You're only 22 at the moment. Fantastic career so far. Done very good for Birmingham City and England under-21s. What are your ambitions for the future? Is it getting Birmingham City into the Premier League and also maybe playing for England senior team?
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got to be ambitious as a young footballer. I think these days there's obviously a lot of pressure, and there's always someone else coming to try and take your shirt. So for me, it is, like I said, to try and get this club back to where they belong and sort of be here for that amount of time and score as many goals as possible. And yeah, I think sometimes you've got to be realistic with the England thing. Obviously, there's a lot of very good English forwards out there, so it's obviously a dream for every player. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got a lot to work on before that happens.
Yeah. But in those Euros, in 21 Euros, you played in the quarter-final, the semi-final, the final, and I look at the names, people who are in the England squad now, Gerald Kwanzaa and Tino Livramento, Alex Scott, Elliot Anderson, and yet actually you were the one, I know you're modest, but you were the one who was making a lot of the headlines. Lee Carsley was singing your praises from the heavens. That in itself must be inspirational. You played with these guys, and they've gone on to be full internationals. Yeah,
it was amazing, to be honest. Like, I never thought that would be something that I would take in my career. And like I was playing in League One. There's nothing wrong with League One, but at the time I was playing in League One, and these were starting every week in the Premier League. So for me, it was an eye-opener and a great experience, and I learnt a lot from them 5 weeks that I was away with them. And yeah, it's a privilege to be able to be on the pitch with some of them players.
How did they treat you? I mean, did they look upon you? Well, it's a League One player.
No, they were good. I think obviously you go through 19s, 20s, 21s, and you sort of build a connection. Not that you're going to text them every week, but you go to camp and you sort of build a bond for that week, and then you say bye and then go back the next month. So yeah, they were brilliant, and they helped me a lot, because obviously the 3 group games I didn't play as many minutes, and then all of a sudden I was starting against Spain in a quarter-final of the Euros, and it's probably one of the biggest games of my career, so it was sort of like a bit taken back by it. But yeah, they supported me for the whole way through the game, and luckily we come out and won.
I want to ask you about the new stadium. How excited are the players, everyone around the club, at the news today, later in the afternoon, about the plans of the new stadium? Is that why you signed the 7-year deal, so you're here still when it's built?
Yeah, I think it's going to be brilliant. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing it later, and like I said, every player wants to play in a 60,000 seat stadium, and if that's going to be 60,000, however many people there are in the stadium, it's going to be special. And you see the atmosphere at our ground at the moment with all of them fans there, and an even bigger stadium, even more people. It's going to be a real tough for other teams to come, and as a home team, that sort of drives you on, and you get the energy from the fans. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing it, but hopefully being able to play in it in a few years.
Hey, well, Jay, look, it's brilliant to see you doing so well, mate. I'm really absolutely delighted for you, and long may it continue. Thanks for are you in early this morning because of us?
Yes, I am in a bit early today, but it's okay.
It's okay. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks
nice to
speak
to you.
Good
Thank you.
Jay Stansfield, Birmingham City's record signing, Birmingham City's top scorer as well. Coming up next, we'll find out exactly how the Scotland boys celebrated qualification for the World Cup as we're joined by another Blues striker, Lyndon Dykes.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, a man called Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian Casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
Good morning, 6 minutes past 9, Thursday the 20th of November. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Aston Villa legend Gabby Agbonlahor is with me, but we are live at the Birmingham City training ground. The club, by the way, unveiling a number of exciting new plans this afternoon, including a new multi-purpose 60,000-seater stadium. That's 18,000 seats bigger than Villa Park, Gabby.
To get the builders out, wouldn't we?
Now, Scotland fans, has it sunk in yet? Are you back home? Yes, you're not dreaming. You are off to the World Cup finals.
Good play by Gemland again. 3-1. A brilliant individual goal by this hard little professional has put Scotland in dreamland.
Collins against Taffarel. And he finds the corner. Taffarel went the right way, but couldn't reach it.
Isn't it the hope that kills you? The opportunity to avail yourself of hope and cling on to that thought process. Watching it drift away and the opportunity escaped Scotland yet again.
Sadly, Scotland have not sealed the deal. It is Scotland 2, Denmark 2. The goal coming from Manchester United's Patrick Doggy.
Right, you tube.
Here we go. Listen to this.
Scotland are going to the World Cup finals. Kenny McLean has launched the ball over the head of Kasper Schmeichel. 50,000 inside Hampden go crazy.
Man alive. I'm absolutely, voices going, buzzing, what capital B. I'm on a Diet Coke.
Well, it was simply amazing, wasn't it? Scotland off to the World Cup next summer for the first time since 1998. Watch out, America. The Tartan Army is on its way. And what an incredible win it was over Denmark. And what amazing goals Scotland scored on the night. And a man who was an integral part of that win is the current Birmingham City striker, Lyndon Dykes. Now, I'm happy to say he's joined us now. Morning, Lyndon.
Good morning, Lyndon.
Morning, thanks for having me.
Oh, look, I mean, not far off 50 Scotland caps. I think it goes without saying you've never experienced anything like that.
No, I mean, what a night. I think everyone involved, even all the English looking in, I mean, it was unbelievable. The way the game went as well. It had highs, lows, everything, VAR, and the goals as well was just, what a night.
Yeah, incredible.
I mean, I watched the game, and I was saying earlier on, I actually felt sorry for you up there because I played at that position on your own up front and balls at your neck and trying to hold the ball up and bring others into play. But was that because you scored so early? You had something to hold on to?
Yeah, I mean, it probably played a factor in it. It was a difficult game for myself, obviously just trying to get the boys up the pitch as much as I can. And, I mean, Denmark, I mean, they're a great team. Even when they were 10 men, they were solid. And sometimes being up front is just the role you have to do. At one point, first half, I was down in our box trying to block shots, just thinking in my head, don't give away a penalty. But I'm happy to do that role. And it's just the way it was. But obviously McTominay's goal was so early on, and I mean, like you say, it probably did, you know, we maybe thought hold on to that lead a little bit too early, but I mean, for the goal, that was unbelievable, that goal.
Incredible. I mean, look, the whole night was unbelievable. One of the best nights I can ever remember. You know, and unlike Gabby, I've got no Scottish blood in me. Look, afterwards, listen to some of the interviews afterwards. John McGinn and Robbo, they were both talking about Steve Clarke and what he'd said before the game. You know, what did he say? What was his sort of rallying cry?
Yeah, I mean, his meeting beforehand was very emotional. What he said in there, you know, some personal things as well. We will stay with the boys, but I mean, it definitely was a war cry for us. I felt very uplifted from it. He spoke about the journey that we've been through from Serbia, qualifying for the first Euros for a long time, had the amount of players that were in this team that were in the Serbia. Then we went on to the next World Cup qualifiers against Ukraine. And then obviously the last Euros was a disappointment. And obviously he had stories throughout the whole campaign. He had some personal stories as well. But you know, it was emotional, and we all felt that, and you could just feel the pain, and you could feel the excitement as well in him, knowing that we were one game away from breaking a record and being so many years for everyone, his family, fans, and all the players. And sometimes, you know, how much stick he gets as a manager. And I felt like we had that in that game, in that night, and we had a bit of luck. And yeah, I mean, it was the best football night I've ever been involved in. So yeah, it was great.
I was watching at home, and when the national anthem was played, I just put a video on my Instagram. I was like, wow, that's what I miss about football. Let's play games like that. What was the feeling like before the game, and then after the game? Talk to me about the celebrations.
Yeah, I mean, before the game was amazing. I mean, you saying that, I've got goosebumps. Yeah. The national anthem was, you know, top. I actually had my son as a mascot as well, so he was in front of me. So that was a special moment. But I think everyone knows what the Tartan Army brings. You know, the Scotland fans, there's been so much heartbreak for so many years. You know, I've got cousins in the Tartan Army and family in there, and they've never been involved in the World Cup, you know, their dads have and they haven't. And you could feel that in the national anthem, and you could feel that on the pitch as well. And before the game, you know, the boys were very switched on. There was actually an injury in the warm-up for Big Suda, and Hanley came in, so that would have been a massive moment for him. Trying to get that mindset quick. But the celebrations after was just it was just unreal. I think as a team as well, we're very close. We're very brothers like. There's a lot of us in there, been there for a while, and a few youngsters coming in, but I mean, the celebrations after was just top notch.
Look, by my calculations, the last time Scotland got to a World Cup finals, I think you were 2 years old. And of course, you missed out on the Euros, didn't you? You picked up an injury in the sort of pre-Euros training camp, which must have been absolutely gutting. So this is going to be really special for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the pinnacle of anyone's career, I would say. Obviously, the first Euros with Serbia was absolutely amazing, being a part of that. And then obviously the second Euros was a different look at it. I got injured in a warm-up. I got injured in training, in the pre-training against no one, and just kind of landed awkwardly, and it was just the worst kind of timing and luck that I could get. But I took some positives out of it. I went over there and done a bit of media work still with the boys and that, and really enjoyed it actually. But now obviously getting that World Cup would be icing on the cake. And obviously everyone knew I had the chance to choose Australia before choosing Scotland. And one of the major things when I spoke to the manager at the Socceroos at the time, he was saying you're going to get World Cups every year the way they get it. Australia, it's the way they qualify pretty much every year, and just to get that with Scotland, it wasn't the easy way. And I'm super proud of myself and everyone.
We've seen the celebrations on the pitch, but I want to know about the celebrations in the changing rooms, because you said you're all brothers. Did you wait for John McGinn after his drugs test, or did you just carry on without him?
We carried on without it. But it was great after. It was great after, and there was another boy. Shanks was in the drug test with him as well.
The worst thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, Jeff, it's like, just leave me alone. You're just like, why? You can't go in the change room, can you?
Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible. Yeah. I think about an hour and a half after the game, fair still waiting for them to come in, and it's just bad timing. But I got drug tested after the Wembley game against England, and that was not great either.
It's turned out to be some season, isn't it? Of course, things going well with Blues as well.
Yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, we've got a great day today with the stadium, bigger stadium than Villa, as I might say. No, the whole club in general, you can see the way the club's going, the back room, and obviously the whole knighthood and the owners and stuff like that. They're guns blazing, and they're putting their front foot forward. So it's going to be positive news and keep going up for the Blues.
Hey, well, congratulations, Lyndon, and just a brilliant week. But keep the media work up, because in the not-too-distant future, we probably need a replacement for Gabby. So,
yes.
I mean, I've seen long enough. I've seen the amount of stick you get. I don't know.
The crazy thing is, I love it.
Are you into the Ashes as well?
You know what? I'm actually not.
You're not?
I'm actually not. No, the only cricket I played was on the street with a bunch of kids when I grew up in Australia, but it's too boring for me. I was a rugby boy. I'm a rugby boy.
Brilliant. Hey, Lyndon, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
The Birmingham City and Scotland striker, Lyndon Dykes, on his way to the World Cup, with us live from the Blues training ground. A little later, we'll be speaking to Blues manager Chris Davis, and Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight will be right here as well, so stay tuned. Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me, Jeff Stelling. I'm just relieved to be here today, mate. I'm relieved. Last night we stayed at a lovely, low-beamed, historic hotel just along the way from here. It's called the White Swan in Henley in Arden. Little did I know, it's one of the most famous haunted buildings in the UK. It's haunted by, amongst other ghosts, the ghost of Virginia Black, who was an 18-year-old woman who died at the hotel when she fell down the stairs.
Wow.
And she is meant to roam the stairways outside room 17 and the Diamond Suite. And I was staying in the Diamond Suite.
Did her ghost bother you last night, Jeff, in bed?
No
comment.
No, it didn't, because I took the precaution, knowing there was a ghost about, of locking the door.
Oh, perfect. So they can't get in.
So they couldn't get in. Apparently the last manager, I mentioned this earlier, he was too afraid to go upstairs. It's just been taken over by new owners. And I tell you what, there are other ghosts meant to be in residence as well. And I think this has got great future, because there are a load of people who are very into ghosts, aren't they, and things, who want to do tours. And the White Swan in Henley, that is the place to go.
They'll be sold out tonight,
ghost
won't they?
watcher.
Thanks to you, Jeff.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I hope so. Anyway, I just hope everybody else survives the night as well. Anyway, let's find out what sort of odds of a ghost appearing at the White Swan there are with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
You believe in ghosts, Steve-O?
I don't want to upset the ghost population, but no, I don't. Isn't it one of those things, you'll only see a ghost if you believe in it? I mean...
Is it?
I'm with you, Steve-O. I'm with you, Steve-O.
If I don't believe in something, how can I see one? I don't know.
Gabby wouldn't stay there last night.
That's why
Well, he doesn't need to. He's luxury mansion, does he?
I was scared. That's why I didn't want to stay with the team.
I've just got to say, Jeff, for those that have been listening, some brilliant guests this morning, but Jay Stansfield, what a star.
Yes.
And the one thing, he came in the room and he shook everyone's, there's a lot of people in here for this, but shook everyone's hand, a proper, classy young lad, and his family would be clearly so proud of him.
Lovely boy. They say, don't they, the fruit never falls far from the tree. And his dad, Adam, who I didn't know, but his dad, Adam, had that reputation of having time for absolutely everybody. And Jay is one of the politest young men I have ever met. And when you think that he's sort of got the footballing world at his feet, it would be easy to become arrogant, you know.
He's definitely a chip off the old block there. And going back to your Lisa, do you know where Lisa Stansfield's from?
Rochdale.
Rochdale's most famous person.
Of course I do, yeah.
And the worrying thing is John Hill is the second most famous person from Rochdale. But no, brilliant show this morning. Really enjoying it.
Thank you, mate. Thanks. It's great to have you here as well. Look, we talked a bit about domestic stuff last time round, so let's move on to some... actually, we've had Lyndon Dykes in, so Scotland are at the World Cup. You got a price for them?
Yeah, look, the producers tried to stitch me up yesterday with Brazil. When Brazil was still celebrating, they were like, come on, what price is Scotland? What teams are they the same price as? Really, low blow for the producers. Yes. They've done the same thing. I'm not playing. Scotland are 150 to 1. Now, people can mock that all they want. It doesn't matter. The pleasure, the joy, particularly yesterday on the show, that those Scotland fans phoning in, they will go there and they will have a ball. And Gab, who knows, in a knockout competition, with that squad of players, what they've got, if the draw falls right for them, I think they could go on a real journey there in America.
If they get a bit of luck with the draw, you look at teams like Curacao, Panama, Haiti. There's so many teams that you look at and you're like, yep, okay, if you can get...
These are all places you won't be able to go to now, Kev. Now you've just written off their football team.
Well, as Adam says, I love Montego Bay, so I'm fine there. Thank you very much, Steve-O. But no,
I doubt you'd be wanting to go to Haiti on holiday. I'll be brutally honest about that.
That's a very, very fair point.
Apologies to any Haitian listeners.
You're not covering their games then at the World Cup, Jeff?
You know. They've got a great chance of getting through the first phase.
Of course they have. And From us, look, I've said it's bookmakers. We love the more home nations teams that can get there, the better. We'll be cheering them all on. But it was a fantastic day, and the parties. Well, we heard John McGinn had been stitched up there, wasn't he, by Lyndon Dykes? But the party's going to go on for a long time, and so it should, all the way through to next summer.
Emery's not listening then. He's still out partying.
Yeah. Will England's cricketers be partying after the first test in Perth? Interesting that Ben Stokes arrived at the airport yesterday carrying his golf clubs, which suggests that maybe he thinks it's going to be
few
over
spare
pretty
days.
quickly. Yeah, he might have some spare days. What about Ashes betting then? What are the sort of odds for the series in the first test then, Steve-O?
Look, the odds don't paint a particularly positive picture for England. In terms of the series, to start with, Australia are 7-4 on to win the series. England are 2-1. It's 8-1 a drawn series. But this is the odds that really struck me. A 5-0 Australian whitewash is only 7-1. So, this could be a torrid time for England. Obviously, we hope not. Joe Root's going to be crucial. Although his Ashes record down under, I was amazed, but never scored a
ton.
Which I'd have lost money if you'd have bet me on that. He's 2-1 to be top scorer for England. He's going to need to perform. In terms of the first test, similar sort of story. Australia 8-11 to win it, 6-4 England. I think the feeling is England have got to win this one with Australia's bowling attack being sort of decimated. But we love the Ashes, of course. Early starts tomorrow. But yeah, the odds, I say, don't paint a particularly good picture for England.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that completely. I just feel that Joe Root, I think we heard from Goffey earlier on saying, if he's going to go down as the greatest ever English batsman, he's got to score a ton. Or two. I was going to say during the course of this series,
you'd almost say he's got to go further than that, isn't he? He's got to really dominate. He's got to put his mark on this series for sure.
Steve-O, do you think as well, if we can win that first test, the Aussies will turn, the media will turn on the players?
I think the Australian fans won't necessarily. Look, media's fickle, isn't it, on all sports and on all sports. But yeah, I think it's more a case of without Pat Cummins, without Josh Hazlewood, this is where England have got to make hay in Perth. So, as I say, we love that. Look, I have to, before we go, I have to give a shout out to Rob, the chef here at Birmingham.
Oh, yeah.
He has raised the bar on all future outside broadcasts when it comes to the catering. Absolutely spectacular.
Fantastic.
Well done, Rob and the catering team. Thank you very much. Look, we're looking forward to Norwich this weekend. Hopefully they can score more goals. £500 every home goal for the foundation. Loads of fun stuff going on. And don't forget the Win the Shed. I think that's a great prize. You mocked me earlier, Jeff, but I'd like a shed.
Just remind us, Blues a short price against Norwich, I would imagine.
Yeah, I thought they'd be shorter. 8-11. Norwich, wrong end of the table, nearly 4-1, 11-4 the draw. 4-1 the Blues to be promotion. You put it to Jay Stansfield. What's the long-term aim here?
Yes.
It's got to be back 100%. In the Premier League, isn't it? Back in the Premier League for those big derbies.
Yeah.
There's every chance this season in the playoffs. No reason why not.
They've certainly got a chance. There's no question about that. It's interesting this weekend as well, isn't it? Birmingham against Norwich. Norwich have just appointed the former Rangers manager, Philippe Clement, as their boss. And, of course, Chris Davis has got huge Celtic connections, having been the assistant manager there at Brendan Rodgers. So it's the way it works out, isn't it? Looking forward very much to that. Steve-O, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve-O.
That was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Coral 18+, gambleaware.org. And don't forget, if you love the Ashes, you can tune into the latest episode of How to Win the Ashes on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. This week, it's Goffey talking to the former Australian captain, Michael Clarke. He was some player. And former England wicketkeeper as well, Matt Pryor. We are joined next by Blues manager Chris Davis, live here at the club's state-of-the-art training ground.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast, live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. I'm Jeff Stelling, Gabby Agbonlahor's with me. We're here until 10 o'clock. Then it's White and Jordan building up to the World Cup playoff draw. Wales, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, they'll all learn their opponents for those playoffs in March. But right now, joining us is a man who masterminded a record-breaking season for Birmingham City.
May with a low shot, deflected in, Birmingham lead. Birmingham and the Brady bunch that have got over the line. An epic encounter has finished Birmingham 3, Wrexham 1.
Birmingham deserved the win to go 15 unbeaten at the top.
The last 10-15 years, this place has been a mess. Yes, we should be promoted, and well done to everybody.
Still unbeaten in the league this season at St Andrews. 8 wins from 10 home league matches. It is becoming a fortress for them. Blues bandwagon charges on, and the leaders are 4 points clear with 2 games in hand. Promotion a matter of when. Dykes with a header! Lyndon Dykes! Birmingham are back in front late on here.
Birmingham need just 6 more wins from their final 9 matches to break League One's record points tally of 103. Based on what I've seen here today, they'll cruise it.
And on the follow-up, Stansfield puts it in.
Get out at the first instance is what they should do, but often it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit to them.
Birmingham City have been promoted to the Championship at the first time of asking. 4,000 fans going bananas here. They've got the podium out. We are going up. Flags are flying.
Yeah, Birmingham City earning promotion back to the Championship at the very first time of asking, and not just earning promotion, but they notched 111 points in a record-breaking season. The man behind it all was their boss, Chris Davis, and I'm delighted to say Chris joins us now. Morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chris. Morning, Gabby.
Look, you work with some great people, haven't you, with Brendan at Liverpool and Celtic and Leicester, and Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. But this must feel great to be out on your own, doing it yourself.
Yeah, it does. It felt like a long time coming. You know, I was obviously preparing for a long time, waiting for the right kind of opportunity towards the end. You know, I had to kind of earn my credibility and respect within the game, taking my time and doing various jobs. And then, yeah, I was looking for the right opportunity to become a a manager in my own right, and this I'd heard a lot about the club and the direction of the club, and they'd just gone to League One, obviously, but it was for me it felt like the perfect opportunity to start, and it couldn't have gone much better so far. 18 months in now.
What are the ambitions and goals for the rest of the season? Because you're only 4 points off the playoffs at the moment. Is it to sneak into the playoffs, and if you can go up this season, then it'll be a positive for sure? Yeah,
I think we're a team like many in the Championship that get that sense that we're in the mix. We've had a decent start. It's a really challenging league, as we all know. You can be 6th 1 week, and 3 weeks later you can be 16th. That's the league. But we've shown we can be competitive. I've actually been really encouraged by how we've played in general. So we look at it and say we're in there. We've got to hang in there, keep building, keep growing, and see where we go. But like anything, it's a process. It's day by day, not get too carried away. If we can come out of this Christmas period in good shape, then we give ourselves a good chance.
Yeah. Was it more difficult in some respects, Chris? Because Birmingham City, people always talk about them in the same light as Wrexham, if you like, sort of money bags clubs. Did that put more pressure on you to come back up here at the first time of asking and then succeed in the Championship? Yeah. Well, I think there was obviously a lot of talk around that money, and obviously last season it was us and Wrexham that had that kind of bigger budget. From my point of view, there was no question that I had to be in the top 2 all season, last season. If I wasn't in the top 2 or the team wasn't, then I wouldn't be here probably. And I understood that was the objective, and that was clear, and I was comfortable with that because I'd had the back in to do that. And it's really important to get up first time because you can linger in League One, and if you can't get up straight away. So it's really crucial we did that, and it was a great effort from everyone involved, and an amazing season that I think the fans really enjoyed because they've been so used to losing. It's been such a hard ride here as a Blues fan for quite a few years. Club's been in the doldrums for a long time, hasn't it? And people say you're in League One, but if you go back to the images there and you go back to this Peterborough game when we did get promoted, and the fans, and that 25 minutes was incredible. And I think the fans would have given a lot to have a night like that, even though it's just getting promoted back to the Championship. But it was a magical season that they all cherished and enjoyed, So, but yes, we're back here now, and obviously the ultimate objective, like for a club our size, is to eventually get into the Premier League. But you have to build it, you have to grow it. You're not going to just walk from League One straight to the Premier League. It takes a lot, but I've been really pleased with the start we've made.
How important is home form? Because I've played at St Andrews many times, and it is a fortress. It is hostile in a good way for the home team. Back-to-back 4-0 wins. How happy were you with those 2 wins?
Yeah, home form is going to be key for us. We actually do need to improve our away form, actually, because we can't just rely on the home, but we've got a little bit better in our performances away from home recently. But you're spot on. It is a fortress. It's one of those hostile, intimidating grounds. We can never lose that. I think that's what the club is, and we're very strong at home. We have to keep building that, and I think that will be key for any success that we do have.
Yeah. Oh, you're scoring a lot of goals at home now as well. I think it's only Coventry scored more home goals than you. Have you done anything, have you tweaked anything to achieve that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things recently that has actually happened is I've actually moved Tomoki Iwata out of midfield, and he's gone into a sort of a right-back role, but where he kind of plays off that side and he can move into midfield at times. And that just allowed us to play with 2 out-and-out wingers, and that's probably just allowed us to be a little bit more dangerous on both sides. A lot of our real threat came down the left, but just having Patrick Roberts has been instrumental within that, off that right side. Another one that I've coached before and I know quite well, but that's just allowed us to be really dangerous on both sides, and it's added to more goals.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, Gabby, I was going to say Patrick Roberts, that's quite interesting, because we talk about, the fact that Birmingham have got wealthy ownership and things like that, but, Patrick Roberts is coming on loan from Sunderland. Lewis Koumas is coming on loan from Liverpool. Tommy Doyle's coming on loan from Wolves. You picked up Damari Gray on a free transfer. So it's not all about spending big money.
No, exactly. I don't think it's, I think I'd have to say I've had an amazing back in here, and the owners would do everything they can. But we're not in a position where we can just outspend everyone in the Championship. That's not like it was in League One. There's teams with very ambitious, big budgets themselves. So we've had to try to be smart, and people like a Damari on a free, getting him back here was an important one. We have to be smart with the loans. You have to be if you're going to be successful, if you're not one of those sort of parachute teams that's coming down from the Premier League. So yes, we brought players in. My job is when they're on loan, you have to really get them as part of the group, that they feel like they're on this journey with the players that are here rather than they're just coming to serve their own purpose, you know. And that's been important for me, just to try and galvanise everyone and guide them through. And we spend a lot of time thinking about, are they the right characters to come in? And I knew Damari, I knew Patrick anyway, so that obviously helps.
The future's so bright for Birmingham City, and later on today they're unveiling the plans for the new stadium. How exciting is that? Because for me, the city needs it. It needs big stadiums that can be used for other things as well, as concerts. But not happy with it's going to have bigger attendance than Villa Park, apparently. Not sure about that.
No, well, I've seen all the plans, obviously, and spoke a lot to Tom Wagner and the board about this sports quarter in the stadium and everything, and it's very exciting. I mean, once the more details come out, everyone will sort of see the direction and the ambition of the club. But for the city, obviously, I've got to know a lot more about Birmingham as a city in the last year or so, and it's something that's really going to serve the city well and the communities within the city, and I think will be a great benefit for the wider people of the city.
Spot on,
So next up is Norwich. I'm not sure whether your paths would have crossed with Philippe Clement, did they, when you were in Glasgow?
No, they didn't, but we played Rangers just recently, last pre-season, and he was their manager. But I'd actually been to see him in Monaco. When I left Leicester, I went around Europe and I went visiting different clubs, Villarreal and Wolfsburg. I went to Benfica, and obviously in Monaco was another one. And in Italy, I went to Atalanta. So I went on this kind of European tour just for my own development and learning. And he was the Monaco manager. Paul Mitchell was the sporting director, so that's how it came about. But then I spent some hours with Philippe Clement there, and obviously watched his training and his work and everything. So he's very welcoming. And then I saw him last year when we played against them. So I think he did a pretty good job initially at Rangers. Obviously, tough place to go sometimes for a manager, but yeah, I think he's a very good manager, and obviously he's going to try to galvanise them, so we're going to have to be ready for it.
Brilliant. All this management, you don't get time for those long holidays in Dubai anymore.
No, I know. I'm glad you remembered that. I did see you in the lift. I thought he's never going to remember that.
Yeah, of course I did.
But no, I know. I'm desperate to go back to Dubai for a bit of sun, but it's too busy. Every international break, something else comes up, another problem you've got to deal with. So at some point we'll go back.
Well, look, Chris, thanks for coming in this morning.
Yes.
I'm glad it's going so well for you. But your players have been in as well this morning. They've done you proud.
Top lads.
Absolutely great lads. Really pleased.
Brilliant.
Chris Davis, the Birmingham City manager, already got one promotion on his CV. Will he get another? We shall see. Coming up, we'll continue the build-up of the Ashes with the War of Words starting, and we'll also be speaking to the creator of the House of Guinness and Peaky Blinders, Stephen Knight. Good morning, 9:49. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, live from Birmingham City's training ground with Coral. I'm just Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. Some headlines this morning. Wayne Rooney's named his 3 Premier League players of the season so far, but there's no place for Erling Haaland. The top 3 were Semenyo, Mbeumo and Victor Gyökeres. Ruben Amorim says Jim Ratcliffe's public vote of confidence last month has been the key to, I quote, dismissing the noise around the club. And Australia have named their 11 for the first test. 2 debuts, opening batsman Jake Weatherald and quick bowler Brendan Doggett. Don't forget our new show, How to Win the Ashes, is out now on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Legendary fast bowler Darren Goff talks to some of the biggest names in cricket, including the former Aussie captain Michael Clarke, who had this to say on the form of Joe Root down under.
The conversation now about Joe Root, right, hasn't scored 100 in Australia. I know he would love to, but I see that as the icing on the cake for Joe. Yeah. I don't see, like, if he doesn't, I'm sure he'll look back in time and go, I wish I did. But, mate, his record is his record, and you cannot take that away from him. He's an all-time great player. But no, I don't think it should make or break your career, especially these days. There's so much cricket, you know, teams. And it will happen now as well. Like, we'll play this Ashes series, which will be the biggest thing for the Australian fans and probably the England fans. But from a player's perspective these days, after the 5th test, mate, the boys probably go into another series. They probably get on a plane 2 days later and have to play India in India. So their brain transitions so quickly. Yet, you know, in our time, the Ashes was massive build-up, generally one-day cricket before the test series starts. So the energy's there, then everything is about the Ashes. And if you lose, it's like the longest flight home ever. So I think a lot's changed, to be honest, Goffy. And I don't think you should be just judged on Ashes series. I think, like I say, as a player, your career is your career. And I think that's what you should be judged on.
Wow, he can talk, can't he? Blimey. How to Win the Ashes is on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel right now. You can find Goffy's exclusive with Michael Clarke, Freddie Flintoff, Matt Pryor, and more. Right, what a treat we have to finish the show. Arguably one of the very best series ever made, and it was set right here in this city, was Peaky Blinders, taking the nation absolutely by storm. I'm delighted to welcome the creator of Peaky Blinders, Stephen Knight, to the show. Morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning.
So, Birmingham City fan?
3 generations on both sides, so I had no choice.
Right,
basically.
so you've known a lot of misery.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, it's been 150 years of... I mean, it's fantastic. It's a great club to support, but we're looking for some glory.
Just tell us about Peaky Blinders, then. I mean, it became a national institution. It was a worldwide success. Did that success surprise you in any way?
It totally did, because I was hoping it would be popular in this country, and then it seemed to... I kept getting people going on holiday and coming back and said I was in the Tommy Shelby bar, or I was in the Peaky Blinders bar, and it seemed to capture the imagination. And eventually, I think series 2, 3, Snoop Dogg's agent was in touch and said Snoop Dogg would love to talk to you about Peaky Blinders. So that's when I thought, okay, something's going on here.
Brilliant.
But watching it, like when I watched it, massive. Whenever you went abroad, like you say, going to America, they'd take the mick out your voice. Oh, you sound like you're from the Peaky Blinders. So big across the world, wasn't it? And still is.
And it seems to be getting bigger and bigger because people are still finding it and still discovering it. And, you know, places like Buenos Aires and all over the world, there are people who are opening bars all the time.
Yeah. I mean, put Birmingham on the map in the sense of TV drama, didn't it? Because we've all seen, you know, series in Liverpool or the North East or Dublin or whatever, but not Birmingham before that.
That was sort of one of the motivations for doing it, was I just felt that it was our turn and our time. And so I wanted to absolutely stay. And, you know, in the build-up to writing it, some executives were saying, can't it be London or can't it be Liverpool? I said, no, we can't.
Brilliant. I have to ask you about House of Guinness, because Mr. Brazil tells lies. He tells things that are true.
Yeah.
He apparently says that it was his idea.
Yes, it was. He's
Was it?
absolutely correct. We were
No
there
way.
shortly after one of his shows, so it's 10:15 a.m. and there we are in the pub, and he came up with this fantastic idea of ordering a pint of Guinness, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow, sensational. You know, the thing I was looking through some stuff on you, Stephen, one of the things that really caught my eye, took you by surprise, was co-creator of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I know.
How did that come about?
I worked in a television production company. I wrote with someone else at the time, and we had a friend that we all worked together in radio for a few years, and we used to come up with ideas for the breakfast show. And one of us came up with the sort of the fundamental idea. We all worked on it, but worked on it for about 4 years of trying different things. And we'd done game shows before and thought this was just another one. And then when it first went out, just suddenly it started to really turned into like a human drama that we weren't expecting. Really.
Yeah, and still running now. Amazing, isn't
Yes,
it?
outstanding. What about rumours you're going to be writing a new James Bond film? Is that true as well?
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot talk about anything to do with it. But I am.
Okay.
All I can say is yes, I am.
Yeah. No pressure writing a screenplay for a Bond film, I would imagine.
I love it though. I love that. I mean, the only way to do the job that I do is to do what you want to do, and then, you know, if people like it, great. If they don't, they don't. So I try not to second guess what people want and just do what I think would be the best thing.
So we can't ask you who's playing Bond then?
No.
It's not you, Gabby. That's for sure.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, it's Alan Brazil.
Let's talk a bit about your football club then at the moment. I mean, obviously promotion last season, Chris Davis, you know, a budding young manager, new stadium coming up as well. Suddenly everything in the garden looks pretty rosy.
Yeah, well, I'm touching wood. I'm a Blues fan. I'm always expecting things to go wrong, but with the new setup, with the people who now run the club, who I've got to know, and they are genuine people. You know, they're not here to flip anything to make a quick buck. Quite the opposite. And the way that they've invested in the community and the stadium itself is going to be, you know, it's going to be an international venue, but it's also going to be porous. It's going to allow local people in. And East Birmingham is a pretty tough area, you know, and it needs a break. And I think this is more, just like for the club, this is a break that no one was expecting.
I mean, you obviously, hopefully, in the not too distant future, have Blues Villa derbies again. Looking forward to that.
It makes me just nervous, just even saying that, because there's nothing enjoyable. I'm sure you'll agree. There's nothing enjoyable about a Blues Villa derby until it's over.
I've said it so many times. I want Birmingham City back up because the fans love them derbies. You know, even watching together at home and bragging rights at work on a Monday morning from a Sunday 12 p.m. kickoff. That's what it's about, isn't it? When you see other clubs having them.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it's because it's so sparse the number of times that we meet, but I think, having experience of other rivalries in Britain and around the world, this is up there, you know, amongst the top 2 or 3. I think it's an incredible rivalry.
Yeah, spot on. Norwich, and then you've got another derby. You've got West Brom. I always used to think that. I thought that was the big derby. Sorry, Gabby. I thought that it was Blues against West Brom. That was the big derby.
West Brom. It's big for West Brom.
It's West Brom Wolves.
That's it.
So, what do you think? Seriously, do you think you can go up or make the playoffs this season?
I think we can. I mean, I'm an optimist and always have been. So my instinctive reaction is to say, of course, we'll get in, automatic. But I suppose you do have to be realistic. I do think realistically we should get into the playoffs. And if we got into the playoffs, then that's when I think momentum actually would. You know, sometimes when you come 6th, the momentum of that drives you through. And I think that's when I think the fans and the spirit and the new era could really start to have an effect.
Brilliant. From a Birmingham City point of view, Stephen, we all hope that your right time has beaten us, mate. Unfortunately, we're around to 10 o'clock, but thank you very much indeed for making the effort for coming in this morning.
Keep
really appreciate it. Gabby, that's it. You enjoyed your time?
Yeah, made
over here?
loads of new friends for life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have taken zero flack. I mean, nobody has given you any stick.
Because they're nice people, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look, enjoyed your company, mate. Our thanks to all of our guests this morning.